a first-place battle in the Peach Belt Conference and a battle of a couple of top 25 teams. Hi again, everyone. Scott Miller high above beautiful, renovated Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field, where the 7th-ranked Columbus State University Cougars get set to take on the 25th-ranked Lander University Bearcats. CSU comes in with a record of 20-5, 8-1 in Peach Belt play. Lander is 12-3 in the conference and 21-5 overall, and they've won 13 games in a row. And so they come in a red-hot club as the Cougars, coming off of a midweek loss. They had won 8 in a row before that non-conference loss on Wednesday. Weather is going to be a big factor here tonight. It is expected to rain at some point, and we hope to be able to get this one in. 3 single games tonight at 6, Saturday at 6, and Sunday at 1. Matt Golden is our studio producer, and we'll throw it back to our studio, take a break, come back, and get things underway here from the ballpark. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
Consider the cup holder. There's probably one sitting empty next to you right now. No Pepsi, no Coke. Just look at it, won't you? All across the country, cup holders are being neglected. Instead of Pepsi, they're being filled with loose change or crumpled up receipts. But you can help. Get a Pepsi and refresh a cup holder's life. Our thirsts are counting on it. In fact, I'm having one right now. That is refreshing. Pepsi, refresh yourself. Refill your cup holder.
Looking for relaxing and comfortable overnight accommodations in Columbus? Call the Wingate Hotel. You'll find newly remodeled rooms, complete with HD 46-inch televisions and a secure high-speed wireless and wired internet connection near Bradley Park in North Columbus. The Wingate Hotel is convenient for shopping, dining, and entertainment. After your busy day, you can relax in their spa or saltwater pool. The Wingate Hotel also offers complimentary shuttle transportation to most local destinations. The Wingate Hotel, 1711 Rollins Way in Bradley Park. Call today, 706-225-1000.
This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540 WDAJ.
All right, Scott Miller and Stephen Williams back at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field, and the beautifully new renovated stadium, including the press box. We're in our own nice little broadcast suite here, Stephen.
Yeah, it is quite an adjustment. It's hard to believe that this is the same building we used to sit in last year at this time, that we were worried about kind of going through at times.
We were, weren't we? So we look forward to it, and Caleb Kuchar getting his warm-up tosses in, and he's had an outstanding year.
He has. The record doesn't do justice what he's done. He's just 2-0 on the season so far. This will be his 7th start of the season. Just 16 earned runs in 39 and a third innings. 3.66 ERA for him. He hasn't had a ton of decisions yet, but he has pitched very well, and the transformation he's made from freshman, not really much of a contributor, to midweek starter as a sophomore, to Friday night guy as a junior. It's been a big testament to him and to Coach Appleton for how well they've progressed him along.
This Lander team comes in here. They've won 13 in a row after being swept in conference play at USC Aiken back in February.
USC Aiken's up to number 10 in the country, so that was a big-time series there, but Lander really getting things going. And there's one thing we always know about Lander: they always can hit, and that's no different this year.
All right, let's set the Cougars defensively for you. Matt Nettles is out in left. Tyler Fichter is center fielder. Old, familiar, reliable Jackson Oliver out in right field. Blake Edwards is the third baseman. Ryan Eiley, the shortstop. Grant Berry, the second baseman. Big Mike McClellan is the first baseman, and Hunter Bowling behind the mound, and Caleb Kuchar on the mound, the 6'4" right-handed senior out of Marietta, Georgia. And Matt White set to lead it off, the shortstop for the Bearcats, hitting .286 with 6 home runs, 16 RBIs, 6 home runs out of your shortstop.
And leadoff hitter.
And we are ready to get this one underway. Caleb has the sign, and the first pitch of the weekend is in there for a called strike, and we're underway at 6:04 tonight.
Caleb, not a guy that'll overpower you. Right-hander, tall, lanky, but he will spot things up, change speeds, mix locations, and that's when he's effective.
The 0-1 pitch on the way to the plate. That catches the outside corner for a called strike 2.
Starting pitching on the weekends has not been CSU's issue this year. They've had some issues on the mound, but it's been on the backside of things, so they've been getting good starts out of these guys.
The 0-2 pitch on the way from Caleb. Fly ball right field and deep. Oliver going over toward the corner is going to drop in just inside the line. He's headed to third, and he's going to be in there standing up with a leadoff triple.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there. That ball just up in the zone, out away, where all he had to do was throw the bat head at it. And as we've seen and come to know,
Number 16,
the ball does
Zach
fly
Daly.
here inside this ballpark. It feels like we're in Colorado sometimes, the way it flies, and that ball just kept carrying and running away from Jackson.
And an 0-2 pitch. Boy, you hate that. Here's the center fielder, Zach Daly, 324 hitter, 8 home runs, 35 RBIs. Caleb checks him over at third, and the pitch is downstairs for ball 1. You and I have to knock the baseball rust off, get out of our basketball mode, and glad to be back doing baseball.
A lot of good conference series coming up for us as well.
Yeah, the schedule worked out nicely in that regard. The 1-0 is in there for a called strike, and it's 1-1. Still a few things to be done here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field, including the padding on the outfield fence. The 1-1 is chopped towards short. That's going to get a run home. Eiley Fields throws the first, and he got him. The Bearcats are on the board, 1-0.
Just a good piece of hitting there.
Now batting,
Ball
number
out
7,
away from you.
Colby
Didn't try to
Lucigne.
do too much. All you had to do was put it in play, put it on the ground, and CSU was playing back, willing to give up the early run. That's nicely done by Daly.
Here's the first baseman, Colby Lucigne. He is hitting .375 with 7 home runs, 32 RBIs, 6, 8, and 7. The home run numbers from the top 3 in their lineup tonight. Swung on and fouled back to the screen, and then Thomas Berry comes in there, and he drops down to a 5.
Yeah, what's he doing?
What's up with that?
I mean, it's a power shortage there.
Yeah, right. So right now we are looking through the fence. The outfield fence is a chain link. Look through it. That will not stay that way, but it is that way right now. Pitch is downstairs.
It's a little bit of a mirage as you look at it. You got to look through the net behind home plate, which is fantastic, by the way, without all the poles in there that used to be. Then you got the fence to see through, and then the other net that's out there protecting the scoreboard and the softball field.
The 1-1 pitch is on the way, and the pitch misses outside, 2-1. We were talking before the game saying that it makes home run calls a little difficult, but as you pointed out, we've been hitting the ball so far that the fence doesn't, the vision in the fence doesn't come into play. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, had him out in front on that one.
Good breaking ball, diving right back at the back foot of the left-handed hitter.
2 balls and 2 strikes here. Lucigne digs back in there from the left side of the plate, and the 2-2 pitch on the way. In on his hands, fought it off and fouled it back over the screen.
Perfect night to really test out and see how that new roof is working above here.
Yeah, that's right. That should come in handy. If you have not been out here to a game or driven past the ballpark, it really is beautiful. And a roof over the chair back seats, a covered stadium here. The 2-2 is ripped foul right into their dugouts.
I looked at a picture the other day of what Ragsdale Field looked like a year ago, and it's hard to believe that we're playing in the same place.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to look at.
It really is. The beautiful brick facade around, and it is just really, really something. Taking his time out there now. The 2-2 pitch again on the way, and that misses. 3-2, so good at bat by Lucigne.
One of my favorite views of this ballpark so far in the young portion of it is back from behind out front at night when the lights are on and the lights are underneath the overhang are on. It's very cool looking.
The payoff pitch on the way, again in on his hands, and he pulled it foul into the dugout.
That's a good at bat right now. He's fought off a fastball. He's fought off a breaking ball. That was a tough one. I don't know if that was even going to be a strike, but he fought it off because it was near the zone, really making Caleb throw a lot of pitches early.
Yeah, I was going to say that's really running his pitch count up here in the very first inning. Bearcats have scored first, 1-0. 3-2 pitch is ripped. McClellan has it at first, behind the bag though, runs to it and steps on it for out number 2.
That was one thing that Greg Appleton talked about in the preseason was, Mike was a DH most of the year last year, and that was one of the things that probably kept him from getting drafted, that and the lack of foot speed. So he was saying that he thought he needed to show scouts and show everyone that, hey, he can play a defensive position more than just a big bat at the plate.
Here is Thomas Berry, the designated hitter, also hits from the left side, and the first pitch is outside for ball 1. Berry, 283 hitter on the season, 5 home runs, 30 RBIs. Caleb peers over the glove and takes the long look in. Now he's ready. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a called strike.
Early run doesn't mean a whole lot. If you've seen any games that this team has played, we're due for a lot of runs.
Yeah, settle in. If you like offense, this could be your weekend. The 1-1 pitch, fastball just missed the inside corner.
We say that, and we're about to get 3-2, 2-1, and 2-1.
Well, we have 3 single games this weekend, and that's what most of the teams in the conference have gone to. And the 2-1 pitch on the way to the plate. That breaking ball caught the outside corner, I guess, 2-2.
You'll take it, right?
Yeah, Barry didn't think so.
I mean, think about the last weekend's scores. 14-13, 18-17, and then 9-0.
18-17, that was a good year. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. So Caleb battles back after giving up a leadoff triple and eventually a run. The Bearcats pick up a run on one hit here in the first inning. Go to the bottom of the first, and Lander is on top 1-0 as the Cougars just now coming in the bat. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Bottom of the first here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. 1-0 Lander on top. A mild night. I guess supposed to cool off a little bit as the weekend goes along, I guess.
Yeah, it was unseasonably warm. I mean, it's warm down here usually this time of year anyway, but not 90. That was about where we were the other day.
Yeah, we really were, and so cooled off considerably. Very pleasant right now, and as we said, we'll cool off a little more during the weekend. But 3 single games, no doubleheaders, and speaking as for the broadcast crew and the press box crew, we love not having those doubleheaders. Kind of a trade-off to work 3 days on the weekend, but probably better than the especially the way the games that this team plays, and as long as they have been. All right, here is Blake Edwards to lead it off. What a year Blake is having. The first pitch swinging, popped up foul behind the plate. Catcher gives a look back to the screen, and it's going to be out of play in the stands. Blake, 416. He's got 47 hits, 10 doubles, 3 home runs, and 23 driven in. Cougar third baseman.
Blake's 4th in the country right now in hits and 6th in runs scored. He's off to quite a year.
The 0-1 pitch, tried to check his swing, called a strike, and he didn't think so. 0-2. Brand new scoreboard, brand new, which includes a video screen. Swing and a miss. The ball gets away. He did not tip it, and the catcher will jump on it and make a nice play. Mangum to throw him out. That was not an easy play. It kicked far away from the plate.
And it went down the third baseline, which makes it even tougher because he's got to go over there, whip his body all the way around, and still have the vision and get it right on the spot, and made a strong throw. That was well done.
So nice play by John Mangum. And here is Jackson Oliver, the right fielder for the Cougars, 359 on the season. First pitch swinging, and he bounces it to first, and Lusignan will glove it by the bag and step on it. So 2 up and 2 down quickly here for the Cougars.
I like the socks that Lander has. A lot of the guys with their legs pulled up, and they have the stripes along the calves. I like them.
I'm a fan, me too. I'm a fan of the high socks. Here is Matt Nettles, and Matt 266, 8 home runs, takes a first pitch strike, 31 RBIs.
And a really unexpected power source. I mean, he had power last year. I think he homered 9 times, second on the team, but what he's doing right now is just different.
That pitch hits the plate, and it's 1-1. Yeah, 8 home runs, 3 doubles. That's a strike in there. And the count goes to 1-2.
And he's hit some big home runs. Not in distance. He has hit long ones, but some big ones at crucial moments.
The 1-2 pitch is inside 2-2. This team this year has been phenomenal in coming back to win. Now, most of the time they've had to come back because they've given up leads, but they've come back to win in dramatic fashion numerous times. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. That one missed. 3-2. Wind is blowing out to right center. Surprise, surprise.
Matt was the one who a week ago tonight launched a walk-off home run in the 10th inning to beat Georgia College in that 14-13 game. Missed extra point got him.
3-2 swing and a miss, and a pitch up around the bill of the cap and away from him. So 3 up and 3 down with a couple of strikeouts for the Cougars here in the first. We played 1 at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. 1-0 Lander on top. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
If you have
Second inning, and Lander on top 1-0. Game one of our weekend 3-game Peach Belt sets. And for the Bearcats, John Mangum, the catcher, will lead it off. Hits from the right side of the plate, and the first pitch, breaking ball, pulled foul down the third base side. Mangum, 247 on the season, 23 hits, 4 doubles. He's got 8 home runs, 23 RBIs. And the 0-1 pitch, breaking ball sweeps outside, 1-1.
Throwing a lot of breaking balls for the first time through the order.
Well, their home runs just down in the batting orders, starting from the leadoff guy, 6, 8, 7, 5, 8, 4. Goodness. They've got a nice overall ERA, too. The 1-1 pitch is fouled back to the screen. Ball and 2 strikes. Got a lot of new bells and whistles and organs and sounds and everything else at the ballpark too, don't we?
That was my doing the other night.
The 1-2 is downstairs, 2-2.
And look, we have this big brand new computer now that runs that monstrosity out there in right field. So we're gonna take advantage of every bell and whistle we've got.
Isn't that the truth?
It does look really good out there, though.
It does, doesn't it? The 2-2 pitch on the way from Caleb. Breaking ball sweeps outside.
And it only gets better as the night goes on. It's just so crystal clear. Great lights. It's a great view. And I think it's really the perfect size for our kind of place.
What's impressive is that you can see it in the daytime. I mean, as our old scoreboard, as it got long in the tooth, that was not possible. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. Second strikeout in a row for Caleb.
I think that was a situation there where Mangum's just sitting on the breaking ball because he was not anywhere near that fastball, and it was over the heart of the plate, and he just threw it right by him.
And here is Taylor Kellner, the left fielder. Kellner, 358 on the season, 4 home runs, 25 RBIs. And Cucci's first pitch fouled away, back toward the clubhouse and out of play.
Rain's starting to pick up now. They're tarping the bullpen mound as we speak.
And folks who are trying to move back under the roof, who have been sitting out in the first couple of rows to get rid of the rain. The 0-1 pitch fouled back to the screen. 0-2. Well, hopefully it stays where we can play through it and play on.
We tested it out the other day and looked at it, and it's really about the first 3 rows. That's where you're in the wet zone if it's raining, and that's if the wind doesn't start blowing.
Cucci has a sign from Bowling, and the 0-2 pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike 3.
Just painting the black there. I think you got Lander hitters guessing at the moment because that's back-to-back fastballs that were over the heart of the plate, really. And one they looked bad on and behind it, one was right there, and he watched it.
And this was after a steady diet of curveballs from Cucci. Here's a right fielder, Alex Conaway. 148 on the season, a couple of RBIs. Just 27 at bats. And Cucci kicks and fires. There's a strike on the outside corner.
Well, rain hadn't affected him yet. No. Usually you see pitchers get a little less accurate when the moisture gets on the baseball. Not the case so far.
Cucci gets a sign from Bowling. And the 0-1 pitch on the way. Bounce that one up there. 1-1. 6 o'clock tomorrow, airtime of 5:50 for the pregame show, and then 1 o'clock on Sunday with a 12:50 airtime. The 1-1 on the way from Caleb. Chopped toward short in the hole. Eiley tried to backhand it, popped out of his glove, picks it up and throws, and he's late.
I'm not sure he was going to have a play even if he did catch that on that. That's such a deep spot there in the hole to try to make a play on.
I agree. Goes a base hit that he was going to have to really unload in a hurry. So a 2-out infield single. And we'll bring up the second baseman, Mason Dodd. Dodd, a .312 hitter on the season with a couple of home runs and 15 RBIs. So the Bearcats with a runner at first and 2 down. And there's a strike at the knees on the outside corner. There was some thought and talk of moving today's game up a couple of hours, but didn't work out with Lander's travel schedule. The 0-1 catches the outside corner, says the plate umpire, 0-2.
Much easier to do for the second and third game of the series when the team already gets to town. That's tough to do on somebody when they're already making travel arrangements.
Greg and the Lander head coach Kermit Smith talked about it yesterday, and Coach Smith thought they had it worked out where they could get here on time. The pitch misses outside in case we wanted to move it up a couple of hours, but in talking with Greg before the game, the Lander bus was about an hour and a half late, so that threw everything off.
Yeah, that'll cause problems.
The 1-2 fastball missed outside.
I wonder if they use that same company that the NCAA sends everybody on.
Well, the bus got here, so I'm not sure that company's good enough to even get them here. In one piece, anyway. The 2-2 pitch on the way to the plate, fouled it off. Back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Want to welcome you folks listening on iHeartRadio all over the world. My sister Glenda out in Colorado Springs, brother David up in Atlanta. They also tuned into the video on CSUCougars.com. We're simulcasting that this weekend. The 2-2 right off the end of the bat and cued it foul that the third base coach made a nice play on over there.
That was nifty over there. I believe that's Coach Johnson over there, and just kind of kick save, popped it right up. Nice little soccer move.
Yeah.
Jay Emlich probably would have been impressed.
He would have. Conaway gets his lead over at first. And time is asked for and granted to Dodd. Matt Golden, our studio producer, as usual, be here with us through the weekend. The 2-2 chopped toward the hole at short again, cut off by the third baseman Edwards, throws to first, and he got it. So the 2-out infield single comes to nothing. Nothing doing for the Bearcats here at the top of the second. Lander still on top 1-0. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network. News Radio 540 WDAK. All right, back at the ballpark. Scott Miller and Stephen Williams. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and 1-0 Lander on top. And Big Mike McClellan, Chris Daniel, and Grant Berry due up for the Cougars here. McClellan, 398. First pitch to him is in there for a called strike. 398, 37 hits on the season, 6 home runs, and 30 RBIs. And there's a chopper up the middle. Shortstop has it now behind the bag and throws. Matt White with a good ranging play toward the bag for out number 1.
So far, Jones has just been in the zone,
yeah,
allowing it to be hit.
Number 12, Chris Daniel.
And here is Chris Daniel, the designated hitter. Chris, 270 on the season. A couple of doubles, a home run, and 9 RBIs. First pitch in there for a strike.
This has been a spot where Greg Appleton really can't go wrong, is in this designated hitter role, because Chris Daniel has been hitting really well there. Christian Miller has had a really good start to his year as well.
The 0-1 tried to check his swing. First base umpire said he went around. 0-2.
And it really sets up nicely because Chris hits left-handed, Christian a right-handed hitter, so you can really just kind of play the matchup.
So Daniel in the hole now, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch just missed inside, 1-2.
Umpire throws you off a little bit there. He just took that head and twisted it right really fast and held it.
He's got that little bit of a movement where he's sticking that arm out there or not. The 1-2 pitch missed way outside, and it's 2-2.
See, I don't understand, though. He doesn't do it on everyone, because that one he just looked straight at it. So is that his, it was close but no, or maybe I missed it?
Maybe he just had a twitch. I don't know.
Maybe somebody said something?
A bumblebee. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out.
That's a good breaking ball, too. Bearing right in on the left-hander.
So that's 3 strikeouts for Will Jones now. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Grant Berry. Grant, 254 hitter on the season, 16 hits, a couple of doubles, and 8 RBIs. And the pitch is high for ball 1. Our guys have a walk-up songs. Is that what I'm hearing? How about that?
And we'll get into some of them because there's some good stories with the freshmen.
The 1-0 fouled away, 1-1.
I was being told because the seniors get to pick the freshman walk-up songs.
Is that right?
And so the song for Grant Berry, it's Killing in the Name of by Rage Against the Machine, which doesn't mean a whole lot except for the reason they picked it. He can't hit off the pitching machine they have. So they picked a Rage Against the Machine song.
That's great. The 1-1 pitch. Here's the sharply hit ball up the middle. Diving stop by the second baseman, Dodd. Throws the first, but not in time. Heck of a play by Mason Dodd, but Berry beat it out. So an infield hit.
Digging in for the
And
Cougars.
the first
Number
of
13,
any kind for the
Ryan
Cougars.
Eiley.
Here's the shortstop, Ryan Eiley. Ryan, 385. 8 doubles, 4 home runs, and 20 RBIs. Ryan out of Ferny Grove, Australia. I think I asked my morning show partner, Wes Carroll. He tries to bunt, and he bunts it foul. His wife is from Australia. I think I asked Wes last year if Jill knew, Jill works at Columbus State, by the way, if that was anywhere near Jill's hometown, and I honestly can't remember what he said.
You're going to ask him again.
So I'll have to ask him again. Oh, me. What day is this? The 0-1 pitch, missed outside.
And we talked about when Blake Edwards led the game off, how hot he was and has been to start the year. Ryan Eiley, you could argue, was almost hotter to start the season. His batting average was up around 500 for a while. He's since cooled off. Nice to cool off down to 385, but...
Isn't that the truth? Throw over the first, back standing.
But it's a welcome source of offense.
Team batting average of 343 for the Cougars. Swing and a miss. He had a bad swing at that one. Kind of wailed at it. 1-2.
343 as a team, that'll do.
That will work, won't it?
And there's a reason that they're averaging up over 10 runs a game.
And Lander to compare at 283. even though they're hitting a lot of home runs and scoring a lot of runs too. There's a drive to left field. Left fielder back on the track. He leaps and he cannot get it. That ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Ryan Eiley, and the Cougars are on top, 2-1.
It really is unbelievable. It just keeps going. This team does not have a stop button. You think at some point it's going to slow down, and it just has not yet.
So after 2 quick outs, an infield single and a 2-run home run by the Cougars shortstop, and CSU on top 2-1.
It shows you what a little bit of hustle can do for you. If Grant Berry doesn't hustle down that line, he doesn't beat that ball out, and we're going to the next inning still. Instead, it turns into a 2-run shot.
The left fielder, Kellner, went as far as he could go, went and leaped, but it was over his glove. The pitch is fouled away. Hunter Bowling. Hunter comes in hitting .294 with a home run and 12 RBIs. Number 8 hitter. The pitch misses, 1-1. The 1-1 on the way. In there for a called strike, 1-2. Now this has been a fun team to watch all year, and we've got some great games, meat of the schedule coming up at home. Hope to see a lot of you out here. The 1-2 pitch misses away, 2-2.
Hey, you look down at the weekend schedule we have coming up. This one, Montevallo is in here, Armstrong State coming in, and then we close with Pembroke. Nice to close with them and not open.
Isn't that the truth? And swing and a miss. And that ends the inning, but not before the Cougars put a 2-spot on the board with Ryan Eiley's 2-run home run to take a 2-1 lead after 2 here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. All right, back at the ballpark as we head to the 3rd inning here, and the Cougars are up 2-1 thanks to Ryan Eiley's 2-run home run in that 2nd inning. And for the Bearcats, it'll be the number 9 hitter, and then back to the top of the order, Ryan Troutman, the 3rd baseman for the Bearcats. 182 on the season and just 22 at bat. So Caleb Cucci now has a 1-run lead as we play here in the 3rd. And Caleb's first pitch of the inning on the way to the plate is a little low and back to the screen, and it is 1-0. Stephen trying to help a fan get the iHeartRadio app on his phone there.
Just trying to help us out.
Nicely done.
I don't think I did it.
Oh,
so don't
well, he left. The pitch is inside.
He realized we are kind of working here.
Yeah. Maybe we need to lock that door over there, huh? The 2-0 pitch. popped him up and foul out of play over the roof.
It's okay. I don't mind helping people.
Yeah.
We want as many people as possible listening or watching.
We sure do. We sure do. He was trying to find us, and he didn't have the iHeart app on the phone. If you don't have it, just, you can find the iHeart app and put it on your phone and listen to the games. The pitch is in there for a called strike, 2-2. The games and all our other shows, of course, on News Radio 540.
I used it last weekend, listened to you, and you were in Gaffney, South Carolina.
And I used it listening to you up at Lincoln Memorial. The pitch is downstairs, 3-2. I was having dinner. I was already in a foul mood because the women had lost. I was having dinner by myself, actually. The 3-2 is in there for a called strike 3.
Coochie just dealing at the moment, spotting that fastball up well.
Number 4, Matt
Yeah, that's
White.
4 strikeouts for Coochie now. Back to the top of the order, and Matt White, who led off the game with a 0-2 triple down the right field line, came in to score on a ground out, one batter leader.
So did they at least treat you to a good dinner?
The pitch to White, breaking ball is high. I want to know, everybody kind of went their own way, and there was a decent restaurant next to our hotel, and so I stayed in the room a bit and throwing away all of the stats for the women and rosters and everything. So I don't need that anymore. So I was sort of purging my system and my briefcase.
Well, it sounds like you went through a breakup. Let's get rid of all the pictures and the gifts and the reminders.
I did. Just broke up with the women's team because we lost, and the 2-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. So I got that all done, and I got to the restaurant, and by myself. I had the phone there, I had the earphones in, and I didn't have to have a conversation with anybody at the table. I just ordered, ate a meal, and listened to you in the first half there, and then went back to the hotel. And I got heartburn listening to that first half. It didn't have anything to do with your broadcast. You were outstanding. It was just the way our guys played in that first half. 3-1 now on Matt White, the Bearcats shortstop. Right in on his hands, popped it up, but it is going to drift out of play. You are up in the middle of nowhere near the Kentucky border.
I did not realize. That's the first time I'd ever been to Lincoln Memorial. A great campus.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea how much green space there is on that thing.
It is
you could pick
amazing.
this campus up and go put it up there with it.
It's a huge, wide open green space area. The 3-2 pitch. There's another line drive to right, and that's in there for a base hit. White can fly. He's going to head for 2. Head first slide. He's in there as the throw is off, so he is in with a double.
Double by White brings up number 6.
Go ahead and mark that down and keep an eye on what his night's doing.
Yep.
There's a couple of the tougher pieces there to get out of the way.
So a one-out double by White. And here's Daly. He grounded the short to get the run home his first time up. It's a beautiful arena that Lincoln Memorial has. And the only downside to them hosting that regional was there are no hotels around there. Every team had to stay an hour away.
Look, I really would have loved to have seen the guys go all the way through that thing, but the quicker we could get out of making that hour drive back and forth, the better.
Check of the runner. White dances off at second, and the pitch is fouled away.
And I can't imagine, last year you all did it for the noon games. That means you all were up at the crack of dawn having to get food and then drive an hour to get there. At least we got to play the late game, which meant, though, we didn't get back until as late as possible.
And Mike Sand and I didn't get in. Last year we drove after the first women's game up there and got in late on that Friday night, and the pitch is downstairs, and it's 1-1, and felt like your head had just hit the pillow, and it was time to get up again and get the pregame meal in and head up there. So not Lincoln Memorial's fault at all, but it's a tough way to have an NCAA regional with the team staying an hour away. Swing and a miss.
It's just part of the Division II model.
It is, isn't it?
there's so many of these schools that are in little towns, and it's not like, the big SEC schools where, Auburn, Alabama may not be a big city, but it's so big because of the college. Lincoln Memorial didn't make Harrogate very big.
No, not at all. The 1-2 pitch is driven down the right field line, but it is going to hook foul.
I think Harrogate's a city of about 4,000, so you can understand why there's not just a whole lot of hotels sitting around there.
And that was the point on the conference call with the coaches and the athletic director as before the regional began, and AD pointed out this is not directed at Lincoln Memorial at all, but we've got a problem staying an hour away, and that's just the way Division II does things. 1-2 pitch will not be made. He turns around and looks the runner back.
Great hotel. Had no complaints about where they put us. It was just the city it was located in.
Well, your hotel was much better than the women's hotel.
I wanted to ask you about that.
Oh, boy. The 1-2. There's a soft liner to the left. It's going to drop in front of Nettles, and the runner had to hold up to make sure that Nettles didn't catch it, and so White is going to stop at third, and first and third, and one out, and here come the Bearcats.
Another good piece of hitting there. Two guys at the top of the order that have really done well of just kind of serving the ball and driving it the other way on balls out away from them.
Here is Colby Lusignan, the first baseman. He grounded to first his first time up. Cougars on top, 2-1 top of the third. That lead in jeopardy right now with first and third and one down here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field.
And a ground ball.
Throw to first. Back safely. Little 4-6-3 double play. Get him to roll over on one here. Cucci checks the runners and the pitch, and there for a called strike. We arrived back in town. The pollen monster had landed in Columbus.
It is unbelievable.
It is terrible, and it's affecting a lot of our throats and a lot of coughing going around. And everything is just yellow. The throw to first, he's back safely. I mean, it's always bad, but boy, it just jumped out in a hurry this year. Runners lead from first and third, and the 0-1 pitch, that's trouble. It's in the gap in left center, and it's going to be cut off by Nettles at the track, but it's going to get one run in, and we'll keep the other runner at third, and first and third again, and it's a 2-2 ball game.
And again, going the other way. Guys getting the hands inside the baseball, just putting nice, easy swings, not trying to do too much with it. And that's a couple balls in a row that Caleb has left up. And when you leave the ball up, a good hitting team will hurt you, and that's what that was.
Nettles did a good job of cutting it off at the track to keep that other run from scoring at the moment anyway. Here's Thomas Berry, the designated hitter. He was a strikeout victim in the first inning. Still first and third, still just one down, a 2-2 ball game now. Off-speed pitch misses. 1-0.
Was looking at it again. In a lineup for Pittsburgh, Jason Rogers again today in spring training.
Nice.
Looks like he's got a legitimate shot to have a good spot with them.
The 1-0 bunch right back to the mound. Cucci Fields throws the first, and he got him. There's your double play, just like we wanted it, right?
Who said pitchers aren't athletes?
So Caleb Cucci grabs the bunt out of the air and doubles up Lusignan at first. But the Bearcats end up tying it. We are tied at 2 as we go to the bottom of the third inning here. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
Looking for relaxing and comfortable overnight accommodations in Columbus? Call the Wingate Hotel. You'll find newly remodeled rooms,
All right, bottom of the third inning here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. 2-2 ball game. Boy, the Bearcats with 3 hits in that inning and just 1 run out of it. Bunted into an inning-ending double play. First pitch to Tyler Fichter, the center fielder, is high for ball 1. Tyler, 356, 14 RBIs. Number 9 guy hitting 356. Pitch misses outside.
And you know, that was a big question coming into this year, was going to be who replaces Brendan Collins out there, who was so good the last 2 years in center field in the leadoff spot. And Tyler's walked right in out of junior college and filled in nicely.
And there's a strike. It's 1-2, and he's 13 out of 14 in the stolen base department. So really, when you bat this guy ninth, you got back-to-back leadoff guys after the first time around. Pitch is fouled away.
And it really sets up nice because you have a guy like Blake Edwards who then comes up and he handles the bat so well that you have so many options at that point when the lineup turns over.
Tyler stands back in there, and the pitch bounced toward first and off of the glove of the first baseman. Fair ball. Fichter rounding the bag at first. He's headed the second. Conaway bobbles it out there, but holding at second is Tyler Fichter.
Yeah, Ball just kind of ate him up over there at the first base bag. Didn't get himself a great hop. And there's nobody to back that one up down the line.
Edwards.
It'll go as a base hit. Speedy man on at second to start the inning, and back to the top of the order, and Blake Edwards. Yeah, Lou Signan was right at the line, and it just at the last moment it had that top spin on it, and as you said, just ate him up over there. And time is granted to Mangum. He's going to go out and talk to Will Jones.
And now you're in that situation we were talking about, a guy that handles the bat really well at the plate. Potentially a bunt situation here if you're talking about trying to move that run up and put it at third base and give Jackson Oliver a chance. Although I don't think that 3-2 will win this.
No, I think...
Something tells me that's not the case.
I think that is probably a safe bet. Blake was a strikeout victim swinging in the first inning. The pitch is in there for a called strike. CSU with a 8-1 Peach Belt record. Lander at 12-3. Aiken right on their heels at 11-4. Shortstop cutting in behind the runner, and Blake had a weak swing at it and fouled it away, and it's 0-2.
And you're looking at it, and CSU's 20-5. And the crazy thing to think about is, if you're talking about games they should have won that they've lost, this team might be 24-1. Maybe 23-2. I mean, they were down all the way on Wednesday night against Lee, so you can kind of count that one as a loss.
In the dirt, gets away from Mangum, and on the wild pitch, moving to third, is Fichter.
One of the Erskine games that they lost at the start of the year, Erskine kind of handled them pretty well in that one, but you look at some of the other losses, a loss to North Georgia where they blew the lead in the ninth inning. They lost a game to Lynn, in which they blew a lead late. They've left some wins out there, and it's weird to say when you're 20-5.
The 1-2 swing and a miss struck him out. That ball was a foot outside.
Blake's not seeing it very well right now. That's 2 at-bats in a row where he has not looked good on that breaking ball. It's odd because he usually is pretty sound at the plate.
There's 5 strikeouts for Will Jones now. Here's Jackson Oliver. He grounded to first his first time up, so 1 down now with a potential go-ahead run at third. And the pitch to Jackson is a strike on the outside corner.
Now's that time where you've got to shorten up and you've got to find a way to get this runner in. Lander did it well back in the first inning to get their first run. CSU's got to find a way to do it here.
He's got to put it in play somewhere. The pitch is downstairs, and it's 1-1. With the 20 wins already, you think about piling up enough runs to look way down the road and think about being in the running to host an NCAA regional.
We were just discussing that in the office the other day.
The 1-1 almost hit him inside. Did a little jackknife to get out of the way. 2-1.
What a way to open up Burger King Stadium. Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't that be nice?
And what a place to hold it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've got the facility now. There's no question about it. And so far, we've got the team that's putting the mark down to be in the discussion to do just that. The 2-1 pitch misses outside, and it's 3-1.
More importantly, we have the hotels.
Yes, that's right. I think we can get everybody inside instead of an hour circle, probably inside a 10-minute circle if we wanted to. 3-1 is pulled toward the first baseman and just foul. That was close to going over the bag to get a run in.
Right now, though, you really have to shorten up with 2 strikes. The last thing that can happen here is you strike out.
3-2, runner at third, and a 2-2 ball game in the bottom of the third inning here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. Big pitch coming. Payoff pitch on the way, fought it off. It was down and inside, but too close to take, just fought it off to stay alive.
That was a tough pitch. That was a fastball in a really good spot because I'm with you. That's too close to watch because you could see that ball going either way.
Mm-hmm. So Jackson, the senior out of LaGrange, and the pitch again fouled off at the plate to stay alive. The conference tournament, Peach Belt tournament, will be played at Francis Marion this year, and a brand new format, which I like.
I was going to say, I like it too.
Yeah, I really like it. It's the pool play format. We'll talk about that as we go along. The 3-2 is downstairs. Good at bat for Jackson Oliver. He works his way on with the wall.
Yeah, really good at bat. Fought off some really tough pitches there with 2 strikes. And now you set things up for your heart of your order. Now instead of thinking 1 run, you're thinking crooked number to put on the board.
First walk by Jones. Here's Matt Nettles with big Mike McClellan on deck. And Mangum comes out in front of the plate to give the defensive signs for his infielders. With first and third and 1 down in a 2-2 game in the bottom of the third. And knock on wood, the rain holding off to allow us to continue to play. The pitch misses outside, 1-0.
See, he did it again there. Did you see the umpire? This time he looked left. But again, most balls he doesn't do anything. And then the ones that are really close, it's like he turns to think about it, and then he holds off.
The 1-0. Snap throw back to third and hit the runner in the back and kicks away. Here he comes to the plate, and he's going to score without a throw, and the Cougars take the lead as Tyler Fichter took one for the team right in the middle of the back on that throw from the catcher.
It's an unnecessary throw. He wasn't that far off the bag. He made a good throw, to be honest. The throw was right on the bag. It just happened that it hit the runner who's diving back into it, but early in a game, there's no real need to try to pick that runner off.
There's not an upside to that when you think about what could happen and what did happen, in fact.
And now you've taken the double play out. And so you had a chance to potentially get out of this inning with 1 ground ball.
And there's a bouncing ball into right field for a base hit. Oliver being waved to the plate. He will come and he'll score. And just like that, the Cougars put another one on the board. and lead it 4-2.
And that run doesn't score if he's on first base.
This is a team, very obviously, Stephen, that you don't want to open the door just a little crack whatsoever.
No, not at all. I mean, you look at what this team, and it's not as if they've played a cupcake schedule and have piled up a ton of runs against bad competition. I mean, they're doing it to conference foes. They did it against a Lynn team that was 20th in the country at the time, and they put up numbers in huge chunks.
So another RBI for Matt, and first pitch swinging from McClellan. He hits one a mile high and foul, out of play over their bullpen down the right field side.
And poor Conaway, he just ran about 200 feet to go get that and has to turn around and walk right back.
As the bullpens are in play here and they're open, and so you can't just stop at the bullpen opening there. You got to go all the way to the back, and that's what he did and ran out of room.
There's a lot to navigate over there right now with a tarp and some sandbags.
The 0-1 pitch to Mike misses, and it's 1-1. 4-2, Cougars on top here in the bottom of the third inning. Checks the runner at first, swung on right off the end of the bat, rolled down the first baseline, and the pitcher, Jones, will pick it up and throw to first for the out, and the runner moves to second.
And McClellan frustrated because he was so far out in front of that ball that it hit right off the cap of the bat and cued it right down that line, and then it stayed fair. A lot of times you see those balls have such weird spin on it that you might get a second chance at it, but not that time.
That will get Nettles down to second with 2 outs. And here's Chris Daniel, the DH, who was a strikeout victim, swinging his first time up in the second. Cougars have put a couple on the board here in the third inning and lead it 4-2. First game of the 3-game weekend sets. Checks that runner out at second, and the pitch stays way high, ball 1.
Jones wiping his hand off quite a bit on that side of his jersey. It doesn't appear that it's raining at the moment. Doesn't mean there's not moisture in the air, though, and the ball's not slick.
The 1-0 pitch. That's in there for a called strike. And it's 1-1. If you're driving around in the area, come on out. We're just in the bottom of the third, 4-2 Cougar lead.
Plenty of good seats available.
Yep, got a roof over your head this year. Don't even have to worry about getting wet. The 1-1 swing and a miss.
And we can actually say plenty of seats available, not just bleacher space. It really is comfortable. One of the things that Greg Appleton talked about was the ideal amount of room for a row is what they put in. They took a row out, so there's not as many rows as there used to be, so that you could have more space, because he said at Turner Field it's too tight for him.
It really is.
And he said we chose not to have cup holders because all he does is hit his knees on them when he's at the Braves game.
The 1-2 pitch, swing, and got a piece of it, fouled it back into the glove. The catcher hangs on for the strikeout and out number 3, but not before the Cougars put a couple of more runs on the board here. And we've played 3 at Ragsdale Field, Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. It's a 4-2 Cougar lead. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
Public service
Stephen Williams, Scott Miller back at the ballpark with you. Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. 4-2, Cougars in front of 25th ranked Lander as Caleb Cucci goes to work for his fourth inning. Throws a breaking ball that's close but misses. John Mangum, the catcher, starting things off, a strikeout victim, his first time up. 4 hits per side, an error per side, but CSU with 2 more runs as this ball's lined into left softly, but it'll find some green out in front of Matt Nettles, and Mangum on with a leadoff base hit.
That's the
Coming up the bat,
62nd pitch
Taylor
for
Kellner.
Caleb already also.
Now that number progressed rather quickly there in the opening couple innings. Lander doing a good job battling at the plate. Taylor Kellner, left-hand hitting left fielder, digs in, open stance. He goes no batting gloves. That's not something I could do.
El Oso Blanco out there.
First pitch out of the stretch is outside, and Hunter Bowling's going to call time. Maybe saw something mechanically or wanted to just offer some encouragement there to his junior right-hander. Hunter, not a flashy guy. Doesn't hit for a ton of power, but he's a guy that really gets after it, plays hard, plays the way you want him to, and he does a good job behind the plate. Want to know the count to Kellner. He was also a strikeout victim his first time as the pitch misses again out away. Cucci with 4 strikeouts through the first 3 innings.
Hunter is a senior out of Powder Springs, Georgia, Hiram High School.
And he has paid his dues to get that starting catcher role. Sat behind several good ones as this ball's fouled right back off the roof. That one's ricocheting back into the stands. What a catching duo it was last year for CSU, though. Dustin Averett and Blaine Miller, those two combined. If they could hand out an all-region award and combine it to the platoon, they would have won it. Neither one of them had enough numbers by themselves to get recognized. The 2-1 pitch coming. Runner on first takes his lead. It's a breaking ball low and in, a check swing. The appeal to the field umpire says he did not go. 3-1.
It's interesting, Stephen, through the years and the long history of this great program, we have had some really good catchers out here. That's one position that is just seems to have always been well stocked.
The 3-1, that's down below the knees. Ball 4 to Kellner. And Caleb Cucci, after getting the lead back offensively in the bottom of the third, has put a pair of runners on a hit and a walk here to start the fourth. So not the shutdown inning you were looking for. Again, though, you knew that this was not going to be a low-scoring affair. You didn't come to the ballpark tonight thinking that this was going to be low-scoring.
I mean, that's the makeup of this team this year, and if you like offense, you're going to like this team.
2 on, nobody out, and Alex Conaway, the right fielder, in. Conaway struggling this season. He's off to a slow start. 4 for 28 for the year as that fastball's in there, and there's a good start to the at-bat.
Did not show bunt, and ironically, in the last inning, they bunted as a surprise and bunted into a double play.
With the cleanup hitter after 3 straight hits and 2 runners on. Pick play back to second, and if Ryan Eiley held on to it, he was dead to rights. He could not, though. The throw was a little bit low, and Ryan couldn't hang on to it as it squirted away.
The daylight play, there was daylight between the runner and Eiley, and throw just a little low, but
he had him.
Thought he had him, yeah.
Conaway in the batter's box, 0-1 the count, nobody down, top of the 4th inning. 7th-ranked Cougars in front 4-2 in this first of 3 in this weekend series. Good fastball there on the inside corner, 0-2. Caleb's come up with some big pitches when he needed them. He needs a few of them here in this inning to hang on to the lead. Cougars with a pair in the second, a pair in the third. Lander with a single run in the first and third inning. 0-2 pitch. At the knees, he flinched. Woo. Umpire flinches behind the plate. Didn't turn his head that time.
No.
But he definitely flinched on it, but it's a ball. Pitch looked pretty good from up here.
Cougar fans below us thought so.
Mangum the runner at second. Kellner on at first. Conaway the batter. Pitch is chopped foul down the third base side. Really a late emergency hack there from Conaway, but it worked. It did the job, and this is where Lander has been good in this game. They've really battled well with 2 strikes and forced Caleb to throw a lot of pitches. It's the reason that pitch count is up over 70 now. Caleb working out of the stretch. 2 runners on, have their leads. Takes a look at them. A 1-2. Breaking ball. That one, he didn't get around it. Spun it high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Some familiar names at the top of the top 25 polls. CSU at 7th this week. Tampa, no surprise, sitting in the catbird seat at the moment. The 2-2. Lined softly into center field, and that's going to get down for a hit. Runner coming around third. They're going to throw the brakes on him as Fichter gets the throw back in quickly. But the bases are loaded. 3 straight have reached, and a nice job there by Conaway to battle back.
Well, and again, they're doing this all night. They're just putting the ball in play, going the opposite way from time to time, just dropping it in. They've hit some shots, and in particular Matt White, but other than that, they've just been dropping the ball in.
And here comes Greg Appleton out of the CSU dugout. There is no action in the bullpen. The bullpen tarp is still on the mound over there. So this just a visit to speak on the state of things right now for Greg Appleton.
We talked about the Peach Belt Conference tournament. It'll be played in Florence, South Carolina at Francis Marion. It'll be a 5-day event, and it's pool play, which means the top 8 teams will advance. They'll be broken into 2 brackets, and you're guaranteed to play 3 games, and you'll have 1 day in that stretch from a Wednesday to Saturday that you won't play. There'll be a day off, and then the winners of the 2 brackets in pool play will meet for a 1-game championship on Sunday, May 15th.
New format, but I think the coaches really like it. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
It really takes that element which has burned us a little bit here the last couple of years of the 1 game and done of that single elimination format.
Which never seems like baseball to me.
It's not the marathon now that it used to be with the double elimination. As Cucci back to work, and the first ball is popped over the first baseman McClellan's head into right field, and we'll have ourselves a tie game. It's going to be a 2-run single off the bat of Mason Dodd. And look at that. You look up at the scoreboard, it's 4-4.
He just pounded it right down into the dirt in front of home plate, and a high hopper over McClellan into right field.
RBIs 16 and 17 on the season for the Bearcats second baseman. And the Bearcats hope they're not done just yet. 4-4 the score. 2 runs already in and still runners on the corners.
And nobody out.
Now the number 9 man, Ryan Troutman, will be the hitter. Troutman down on strikes, his first time up. A chance to give the Bearcats the lead, though, in a 4-4 game. He'll fly one into right center field. That'll be plenty deep enough to get the run in. Jackson Oliver will make the grab in the gap. Tagging from third and scoring is going to be Conaway. And just like that, Lander back in front. It is 5-4 Bearcats.
Jumped on the first pitch there, didn't waste any time.
And now work will begin to get underway as Robert Hayes makes his way down to the CSU bullpen on the left side. 5 runs on 7 hits through 3 1/3 tonight so far for Caleb Cucci. Not the start he was hoping to have. Matt White, who's been a pest and a thorn in his side so far tonight, up to the plate. A triple and a double for him as that ball off the plate outside to the right-hander for ball one.
Another good thing about the play format is you know what time you're going to play each day, who you're going to play.
One 0 pitch coming up. Runners on at first now as that breaking ball spins in there for a strike. Good pitch from the junior. 1-1.
Francis Marion has a fairly new stadium as well. Very nice. So see our old friend Michael Hawkins over there.
Cucci working out of the stretch. McClellan holding the runner on at first. The 1-1. Fastball inside corner. White didn't like the call, but it's a called strike two. Only thing I would like to see, and I know that they discussed it, trying to find a site to host it, was if they could go to one of those perfect game type ballparks where there's 4 fields and we could just play it all at one time.
Yeah.
And it would, because how fun would that be to have all the games going on and everybody's scoreboard watching? The 1-2 at the knees, maybe a little bit low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah,
but
that
to
would
have
be fun,
all of them
wouldn't it?
going
Yeah.
on at the same time, so it just would really have kind of the chaotic feel that March Madness gives you with basketball.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch coming. Breaking ball in the dirt. Bowling blocked it. The runner's going to try to take off. Hunter got to it, but his throw was a little offline. Another tough one for Eiley to handle down there at second. And because the throw was off the mark, Don was able to advance. Hunter popped up and got on that one pretty fast and actually got an assist by White, the batter. The ball ricocheted up and caught him. But again, a tough throw for Eiley to handle at the second base bag. So runner in scoring position, 1 away, 3-2 count on White. Payoff pitch, breaking ball, called, third strike. Finally able to retire his man right there at the top of the order.
A big strikeout and a big out there, and a guy that had worn him out in the first 2 at-bats.
The work not done, though, for the right-hander. He'll have a tough hitter here in Zach Daly. 1 for 2 on the evening already. Average closing in on 330. Dodd, the runner, still on at second. Now with 2 outs, 5-4 Bearcats. Fastball outside to the left-hander. Taken for a ball. Other than the overcast skies, it's turned into a fairly pleasant evening.
It is really nice. It sure is.
1-0 pitch coming up. That ball right at the knees and on the outside corner, 1-1. And you can really feel the new AC kicking in this press box, huh?
That's right. We might have to do something about that as the natural AC takes effect tonight.
The big old unit right here over our shoulders. Another one in the other room.
It's a big one. What a place to watch the game from.
The 1-1 pitch, another perfect location with a fastball, 1-2. It really is just an absolute game changer compared to, and Ragsdale Field was fine.
Yeah, the field itself has always been beautiful. Sammy Stiers, what a job he does, and it's still gorgeous, and now you throw a gorgeous stadium around it.
1-2 pitch, lined into left. That's down in front of Nettles for a hit. He'll get it back in quickly, and that will hold the runner at third. But again, Daly going the opposite way. He's done it all 3 times, and he's 2 for 3 today now as Lander picks up its 8th hit.
Colby Lusignan.
Good job by Matt to come in and get that ball back in a hurry to keep that runner at third.
Yeah, you look at it, the outfielders for the Cougars do play awful deep. A lot of balls fall in front of them, and I get that the ball carries well here, and it is a spacious ballpark, but they are a long way out there right now.
They are.
The batter will be Colby Lusignan, Bearcat first baseman, trying to do some damage. Already 3 runs in for Lander here in the 4th. They've retaken the lead at 5-4, and they've got runners on the corners with 2 down. Lusignan 1 for 2 with an RBI. Goes after the first one. In the hole, it's short. Eiley, long throw on the run, falling away on a play. Ryan Eiley, a strong throw from the shortstop position, keeps this just a 5-4 game, but the Bearcats in front. They put 3 on the board. They lead it 5-4 after 3.5 here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Stephen Williams, Scott Miller here with you. The beautiful Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field, the campus of Columbus State University. 5-4, 25th ranked Lander leads 7th ranked Columbus State. Cougars back to the plate as it's been a game of runs. Just back and forth we go as Grant Barry will lead things off. Barry, Eiley, and Bowling due up for the Cougars here in the 4th. First pitch to the freshman second baseman is in there on the inside corner for a strike. Four runs on 4 hits for CSU as this one's chopped foul behind the plate, 0-2.
Grant is out of Marietta, Lassiter High School.
It was Grant's hustle back in the second inning that legged down an infield single on a great play by the second baseman, Dodd. That ball, I think, caught his front toe, and it did as it rolled on by, and he'll be down at first, but it was his hustle that kept that inning alive with 2 outs and ended up leading to Ryan Eiley, who steps to the plate now, who hit a 2-run home run, snuck it over the left field wall.
That's enough to drive your coach crazy. You're 0-2 on somebody, and you hit him in the toe.
Especially in a game like this where you know runs are going to be high, and a guy that's already punished a ball standing in the on-deck circle waiting, and that's Ryan Eiley, who digs in now with nobody out and Barry on. First pitch swinging, popped it up, shallow right. Back on it is Dodd, the second baseman. He'll give way, though. Conaway, the right fielder, calls him off, and wisely so. He makes the easier play.
Boy, the lights, it's not dark enough for the lights to take effect, and the sky is gray. That ball is difficult to pick up as it gets up there above those lights and in that gray sky right now.
Hunter Bowling, the batter, 1 down, bottom of the 4th inning. CSU trying to answer back after they gave up 3 in the top half, trailing 5-4. Opening game of what we expect to be a fantastic 3-game weekend series. First pitch to Bowling, down low, taken for ball 1.
Again, 6 o'clock tomorrow night and 1 o'clock on Sunday.
All of those games right here on News Radio 540 and simulcast on Cougar Sports TV. 1-0 pitch, same spot. Both of them have been close, both of them taken for balls.
We talked about it earlier, and you mentioned, boy, and it's really great to see somebody like Hunter Bowling, who's really paid his dues here from his freshman season on, get some significant playing time.
Spins one in there that time, does Jones. 2 balls and a strike.
Appeared in 6 games as a freshman, 12 games as a sophomore, 12 as a junior, and now here he is with a significant role as a senior.
Barry on the move from first. The pitch is out of the zone. The throw down to second is scooped on a short hop. Nicely done by Dodd, the second baseman, and he'll tag Barry out. Caught stealing. It goes 2-4 in the scorebook. And there's 2 down in the inning. 3 balls and a strike as that pitch missed. So strong throw that time by Mangum. Erases the Cougar base runner. Now there's 2 away in the inning. Three-one pitch. That's over the heart of the plate. Hunter was on his way to first, but that pitch looked pretty good from our vantage point. Maybe not so much from down low.
Maybe he was trying to help influence the call a little bit.
You gotta be careful when you're a catcher, though. This one swung, driven down the right field line. That ball's twisting into foul territory, though. Hunter hit it a long way, but it's out of play.
Nice of the organist to show up tonight and provide us with some ballpark music.
Hey, when you pay them the big bucks, you expect them to perform. Payoff pitch on the ground to second. Dodd will field cleanly, fire on, and there's the shutdown inning that both sides have been looking for so desperately in this one. We've played 4 at Burger King Stadium, 5-4. Lander in front of the Cougars here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
The Cougar Club
Cougars trailing 5-4 here at Burger King Stadium. Lander, the 25th ranked team in the country. CSU, the 7th ranked team in the country. Early season showdown between a pair of ranked PBC teams. One other Peach Belt Conference team in the rankings, and that's USC Aiken, who is tied for 10th this week. The way the schedule falls, USC Aiken not on the Cougar schedule this year. It's the second year of this scheduling rotation. USC Aiken and Francis Marion, the two that the Cougars don't see this year. I believe there's another as well, because then they just, as the pitch misses wide to Thomas Berry, they just cut back on the games, I think. No, there's still 30 of them. I think they're getting ready to do it, is what it is.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. The big left-hander comes up empty there. So it's just those two teams, Francis Marion and USC Aiken. Not a bad year to not have USC Aiken on the schedule.
Yeah, that was fortunate.
Kind of like 2 years ago when Lander was on their great run all the way to the World Series. CSU didn't have Lander on its schedule. The fastball outside, 2 balls and a strike. Boy, that Lander team was impressive, huh?
That was an impressive team, and what a run we made at them in the regional. Took them all the way to the last game and to 2 a.m. in the fog.
The 2-1, that ball's hit a long way down the right field line. Foul territory, though, and Jackson Oliver will run out of room. My first recollection of that was when we were at USC Aiken for the conference tournament. We watched some of Lander play. I think it was Connor Lewis, wasn't that his name, the big first baseman?
Yes.
He hit homered 3 or 4 times in that first game. Was just putting on a show. Opposite field, right field, didn't matter. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, went out away from him, and Caleb Cucci's got himself another strikeout. Ring up another one for the right-hander. That's his 6th of the night.
Now batting, number 9, John Mangum.
Coochie has given up 5 runs on 8 hits, but he does have 6 strikeouts. 91 pitches now for the right-hander. John Mangum, the batter, the senior out of Waxhaw, North Carolina. Any idea?
I have no clue. I was just trying to think.
They have 3 players from Waxhaw. First pitch fastball, that's a good one, inner half of the plate.
I still like Coal City, North Carolina better. One of our basketball players.
I was going to say, is it bad that I already know who's from there?
Yeah.
The 0-1 pitch right on the outside corner. Bowling doesn't even have to move his mitt. I guess that so goes the life of an SID, right?
Yep. And a broadcaster. When you say Coal City, North Carolina, we know who's from there.
0-2 pitch to Mangum. Swing and a miss. It's in the dirt, so Bowling's going to have to throw to first. He tosses on to McClellan in perfect fashion, and 2 up, 2 down. Maybe Caleb Coochie can get himself a nice, easy 1-2-3 inning here.
Number 13, Taylor Kellner.
7 strikeouts now.
And not a guy that strikes out a ton.
That Lander team was a great team. We were coming out of the losers bracket and meeting them on that Sunday, and it rained all day, and we were in the hotel all day waiting and waiting.
Taylor Kellner watches the first pitch outside for ball 1.
Finally got the go-ahead to play Sunday night. We were supposed to play at 1 and started Sunday night, and we beat them, which shocked the crowd there in Greenwood to force a final game.
1-0 pitch on the corner, 1 ball, 1 strike.
In that final game, instead of waiting the next morning to play, because we had our hotel rooms, the umpires had their hotel rooms, they decided to play started at 11:06 Sunday night.
Outside, 2-1. That was a trip that I was unable to make. And so I remember exactly, though, sitting in the apartment, we plugged the plugged the computer into the TV to watch it. Pitch misses inside, 3-1. Sat there until the wee hours of the morning watching that one, and I thought for sure after winning game 1 the fashion that they did, and then getting the leadoff home run in the second game, that things were going to go in the right direction. Pitch misses way outside there, so back-to-back strikeouts and then a 5-pitch walk will put Kellner on and bring Conaway to the plate.
I have to be honest with you, that night, even though I thought it was ridiculous to start an NCAA tournament game, a game where the winner goes to the World Series at 11:06, and it's something that never would have happened in Division I wasn't upset with the decision to play in this regard. I thought it was good for us.
Absolutely.
Because we had just jumped on them, we beat them, we had stunned them, and then when we hit that leadoff home run, you thought, boy, here we go.
And it looked just about like CSU was going to get out of that bottom of the first inning without a run coming across. And I think that would have been the deciding factor as Conaway gets set to dig in with a runner on and 2 outs. 5-4, CSU trailing Lander here in the top of the 5th inning. But Lander answered right back, got the runs to tie it up, and then it was just a good ball game from there as they throw the first to check on the runner.
We made a run at them in the 9th that had them worried just a bit in the stands down below me. The other takeaway I have is I look at Jackson Oliver out in right field right now. I could not see Jackson Oliver out in right field that night because the fog had rolled in. Unbelievable.
First pitch to Conaway. Over the heart of the plate at the knees for a strike. Conaway 1 for 2. He scored a run. 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Lander. 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for CSU. 2 away here in the top of the 5th inning. Kellner, the runner at first. McClellan holding him on. This one's popped out of play. Over towards the Student Recreation Center.
But that was a gutsy CSU team that year. They perhaps weren't as talented as they needed to be, but boy, they put it all out there, and they were fun to be around.
And that team, the opposite of this one, that team really pitched the ball well.
Yeah.
0-2 pitch coming up, long look in. Coochie hits the mitt, but Hunter set up off the plate outside, 1 and 2. You look at the weekend guys that year, Mike McGinnity, Caden Ferguson, and Brian Headley had himself quite a year. Trey Watson closing things down at the end of the games. Really, that team was stacked top to bottom in that pitching rotation. It took them a long way. 1-2, line softly into left center field. Fichter broke on it, but it's going to fall in front of him. Runner's going to try to go first to third. The throw just off the bag, and the tag is late, and moving up on the throw was Conaway to second, and they're on second and third in an inning that looked like it was going to be a quick one.
Good base running for Kellner. He never hesitated, went first to third, and so some two-out trouble here.
Now batting.
Right-hander still up and throwing in the bullpen for Columbus State, and you think Greg would like Caleb to get through this inning, but I'm not sure it's going to happen because here Greg is on his way out to the mound now. Slow walk, no signal yet. And there is the signal. So he will be going to the bullpen, and he's going to pull out his right-hander. So Caleb Cucci can't get out of the fifth inning. Game is still just 5-4, a couple of runners on, and we'll take the pitching change break here on the flagship station, the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
You're
Greg Appleton goes to the bullpen for the first time on the night, and he pulls out right-hander Robert Hayes.
Robert is 1-1 on the season with an ERA of 3.38 in 8 appearances. He has 1 save to his credit, 10 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs for the Mern, 10 strikeouts, and 3 walks for the big junior right-hander out of Commerce, Georgia.
He pitched well on Sunday, his last outing. That was the closer of that series with Georgia College. He went the final 3 innings, scoreless. Finished off that shutout for Brandon Kaler, who we will see on Sunday of this series.
Well, this inning really fell apart quickly for Caleb Cucci after he struck the first 2 guys out.
5-4 still the score. CSU still only down a run, and they have not given up a run in this inning yet. But Lander threatening, runners on second and third, 2 down, and Mason Dodd, the hitter. Caleb Cucci's night done after 103 pitches. He goes 4 2/3, 5 runs on 9 hits, 2 walks, and a season high 7 strikeouts. Dodd, the batter, he's 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Chopped one down the first base line his last time up that brought home 2 with the bases loaded. Hayes going to work out of the stretch with Conaway at second, Kellner at third, and 2 down. Really big at bat here in the middle of the game. First pitch from Robert, popped up down the left field line. Will there be room? Blake Edwards sprinting into that bullpen, and it hit the light pole. I don't think it was going to hang out in play. Blake Edwards still giving that light pole a stare.
It looked like it was going to get out of play, but you never know. And does that make Mason Dodd a light hitter?
Oh, I see what you did there.
Just wondering, just wondering.
It's early in the series to be pulling that out.
It's early in the broadcast season to be pulling that one out.
The 0-1 pitch popped up same direction, but this time well out of play, 0-2. What a big out this would be if Robert Hayes could come through. On the flip side, though, what a huge hit it could be if you're Lander in an inning where Caleb Cucci struck out the first two batters. And he gave up a back-to-back singles, and they're on second and third with 2 outs. 5-4 the score, top of the fifth here at Burger King Stadium. Columbus State down a run, opening game of our Peach Belt Conference Weekend Series. 0-2 pitch coming. Chopped up the middle, and that is going to get through into center field for a base hit. 1 run in. Here comes the second, and another 0-2 hit. And it's a 2-run single. Dodd has his second 2-run single of the night. 7-4 Bearcats.
Boy, and that just kills you on those 0-2 pitches.
Caught too much of the plate with it.
15, Ryan Troutman.
Dodd rolled it right back through the middle. Brings both runners across, and now it's a 7-4 game, and all 7 of those runs will close the book on Caleb Cucci. Ryan Troutman, the batter, as he tries to keep the inning going. First pitch from Hayes is a fastball in tight for ball 1, and this is where things have gotten a little hairy of sorts for CSU, is when they do go into that bullpen.
And that's just been a struggle for Greg to find a combination that works down there.
1-0 pitch coming, breaking ball, started to go, held up, 2-0. He's got a lot of good arms, a lot of good stuff out of that bullpen. Some of it's about harnessing it, and some of it is just getting through things.
He's got a lot of young guys down there that he really didn't want to put into the situations they've been in this early in their career.
That one's trouble if it's fair down the right field line, but it's going to drift off into the corner foul. That ball hit on a line by Troutman. Jackson Oliver has been busy out there. He has run a long way a few times into that corner.
Ideally, you'd like to work those young guys into some situations where they're going to have success early in their career and not throw them out in the deep end of the pool, but you reach a point where you got to do that.
2 balls and a strike. Big hit at bat to get here if you're CSU. Top of the order, standing in the on-deck circle. Runner at first leads the 2-1. Over the plate, but low. 3 balls and a strike, and it's Matt White who's standing in the on-deck circle, the Bearcat leadoff hitter. Not a man you want to see come to the plate in this inning.
A triple and a double already tonight.
Hayes ready. The offering rolled on the ground to short. Backhand for Eiley. He's going to go the short way, and he will get Dodd at the second base bag. So Robert Hayes does get out of it before any more runs come across. But a big 2-out, 2-run single for Lander makes this a 7-4 game, halfway done here at the ballpark on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Stephen Williams, Scott Miller back here with you at Burger King Stadium.
Number 3, Tyler Victor.
7-4. Columbus State on the wrong side of the scoreboard at the moment. 25th ranked Lander Bearcats in front. Tyler Victor. And then the top of the CSU order due up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Victor goes after the first one, flies it foul down the left field line. That one's going to drift out of play and right off the light pole again. 7 runs on 10 hits now for Lander. CSU with 4 runs on 4 hits. Victor 1 for 1 in the game. Picked up a double on a tricky hop on a ball down the line as he rolls this one foul on a bunt. Trying to push that one towards third. Tricky hop down that first base line. It got through Lusignan. Victor ended up with the double, eventually came around to score. Scored on a throwing error by the catcher Mangum. Tried to pick him off at third. Ball hit off of Tyler's back, rolled away, and he scampered home to score the 3rd run of the game. 0-2 pitch coming from Jones, hit in the air to center field, drifting towards left center. The center fielder Daly gets under it for out number 1. We had another light
Number
hitter.
11, Blake Edwards.
We had another light.
We had another light hitter.
That's 2 innings in a row. What's going on here?
Same pole.
We're going to have to get rid of that pole.
Blake Edwards, the batter, and he's not the batter for very long as he's going to wear that one between the ones on his jersey. Breaking ball and got away from Jones, his counterpart 11. A hit by pitch will put Blake on. Got a chance now for Blake to run the bases. Maybe he'll slide, get those white pants dirty.
He's good at that, isn't he?
They're way too clean for the 5th inning.
Isn't that the truth? By the way, there's a little, I made a little trip down to the restroom, and there's a light drizzle falling out there.
Jackson Oliver into the batter's box. The left-hander watches the first pitch inside, taken for ball 1.
And it's a bad combination to have that pollen on the stands and that really light mist. It's a little slick out there, folks.
Man, we can't have you go down. Don't do that. This throw, the pickoff to first, got away from Lusignan, but not far enough for any kind of advancement. We don't need you going down, big fella.
I was thinking about that as I was home. I said, whoa, no, don't need to be doing a skating number here.
Want to know the count on Oliver. He's 0 for 1 in the game as he takes one in there for a strike. Jackson 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. He scored, advanced to second on that throwing error, and then came around to score on the RBI single by Nettles. That play a little closer at the first base bag, but Edwards again back in there safely. It's nice to see Sammy Stiers back coaching the first base bag. It usually makes for some excitement.
Yes, it does.
He had that job taken away from him. Not for any reason other than they just had somebody there to do it. That ball rolled through the right side into right field for a base hit. Scooted right between the first and second baseman, and Jackson Oliver has the 5th Cougar hit of the day, his first, and there's 2 on with 1 out.
Yeah, we had another assistant coach do the first base coaching, and Sammy kind of hung out in the bullpen. He was kind of in charge down there, and he made friends all over the league, especially at Greenwood, as we were just talking about the regional at Lander. He's got some pals over there.
Yeah, he's maybe not quite as fiery now with his son, Inman. By the way, one of the best dressed kids in the business.
Isn't that the truth?
Matt Nettles, the batter, 2 on and 1 out. Fastball outside corner. In there for a strike. You see him and Sammy's wife walking around the Lumpkin Center all the time at basketball games.
Well, we know he gets the fashion statement from his mom. There's no question about that, thankfully.
This ball lined into right. That's down for a base hit. Blake Edwards, they're going to wave him around third. He's coming to the plate. The throw is cut off, and it's a 7-5 game. Matt Nettles delivers for the 2nd straight at bat, and here come the Cougars.
Settle in. Buckle up.
They're about to be a boxing match now. Trading punches.
Number 27, Mike McClellan.
Matt Nettles with his 2nd RBI single of the night, and the table is set. Mike McClellan, the batter now. CSU with the potential tying runs on 1st and 2nd, only 1 out. And Mike McClellan lumbers to home plate. Mike, big hack at a first one that was up around the letters. Came up underneath it and fouled it off.
He almost came out of his shoes on that one.
That ball hit the padding. One of the new features to Burger King Stadium is that new wall behind home plate. Put the padding over top of it as well. The ball ricochets off of it pretty hard.
Changes the dynamics of a ball that gets to the screen, doesn't it?
7-5 the score as we're going to have a meeting on the mound between the catcher Mangum and Will Jones. Jones working in his 5th inning. Caleb Cucci didn't make it out of the 5th for CSU. And now it looks like Kermit Smith is going to call time. He's going to head out and have a conversation himself.
And that will give his bullpen time to get active as they are just running it down to the pen right now. We were reminiscing about that NCAA regional a couple of years ago in Greenwood at Lander and talked about getting to Championship Sunday and forcing a final game of that tournament. Well, that would not have been possible if we didn't have the miracle that occurred on the Saturday night in the final game on Saturday night.
I remember, again, exactly where I was, driving through Tennessee, listening to you on the radio that night. That ball, against Catawba?
Mm-hmm.
Ground ball to shortstop, ending the game.
Yep. Routine ground ball game over, season over. Took a bad hop over the kid's head.
It bounced, about 8 feet up in the air?
Really
Huge.
Way high.
2 runs came in to score, and then we eventually went on to win it?
Yep. Well, that was a night, and you were thrilled with the win, and walking out, I had to walk out right through the Catawba guys and their fans, and that was difficult to look at them. They took it hard, as they should have, man. That was a tough way to lose, but one of the great postseason wins in our history, certainly.
Oliver at second, Nettles at first, Mike McClellan the batter, 1 away here in the 5th. This ball hammered to left, Topspin's going to take that one down, but it's in for a hit. Oliver around third, he'll come in to score. Mike McClellan on his way to second. 7-6, CSU within 1, and there's 2 on still with only 1 out. Mike McClellan in on the act now.
That ball, he hit it so hard, as you said, it had the top spin on it, so just scooted out there.
Chris Daniel.
And again, you said it, buckle up, here we go, 7-6. We've played 10 half innings tonight and had runs in 7 of them.
Yeah, bring a lunch or a dinner or whatever time of day it happens to be. You may need both when you come watch this team play.
7-6, and now Chris Daniel trying to tie this game up as he swings. Fouls the first one off the catcher, Mangum, for strike 1. Cougars hoping they're not done yet. 2 on, 1 out, 2 already in. 7 hits in the game now for CSU, who's back within 1.
McClellan with 31 RBIs now.
The 0-1, that's down low. 1 ball, 1 strike, and that's a guy in Mike who really started poorly this year. So poorly that there was a game and Greg Appleton just sat him out of the lineup and just said, hey, we need you to kind of collect yourself. I believe that was the opening home weekend they had against Lynn. This ball swung on and missed. Daniel swung through the inside fastball. Ironically, though, Mike came up with the bases loaded in a tie game in the last inning, was hit by a pitch. Walk-off, hit by a pitch. I believe, that was another football score, 19-18.
Yeah, that was the one where we scored, 3 in the 9th or something?
They hit a field goal.
Yeah.
Late field goal right before the horn.
Yeah.
A couple of failed 2-point conversions in there.
I think there was a ruse or 2, wasn't there?
The 1-2 is low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A righty and a lefty in the Bearcat bullpen.
I think we're going to get used to that. There'll be a lot of bullpen action before this night is done on both sides. 2 very good hitting teams and the top 2 teams in the Peach Belt Conference right now. 2 top 25 programs as Daniel will call time and step out. McClellan on at second, Nettles on at third, both of them with run-scoring hits in the inning. 7-6, Lander clinging to a 1-run lead. Will Jones trying to dance out of trouble with one down here in the fifth. 1-2 pitch, fouled off. Daniel got a piece of it. Second time in the at-bat, he's caught Mangum with a foul ball.
You know, I've been thinking, I've been trying to remember. I knew there was something that I forgot to do before the game. I never ate dinner. So.
I'm right there with you.
So
there's some crackers in the office.
Yeah, I've got two. We may split. I have 2 crackers over here. I'll split it with you.
2-2. The pitch coming to Daniel. In the dirt. Good block that time by Mangum. He has taken a beating in this at-bat by himself, but kept that one in front. That's what you wear the gear for.
Yeah, he's a good catcher. Wind picking up a little bit out to right. Last couple of innings that they were hanging limp out on the flagpole.
Can we tweet someone to go get us a hamburger?
Yeah. Who did we try? Oh, Kenny Funderburg.
Uh-huh.
Kenny Funderburg.
Payoff pitch, swing, and a miss. Big pitch there from Jones. Daniel comes up empty on it. Huge strikeout for the right-hander, and CSU on to try to tie this game up with 2 down.
Yeah, my brother David, listening on iHeart up in Atlanta, said, yeah, just as we thought, a long night. So, yeah, that's what we're going to have a lot of those.
I think there's time for him to get in the car, get us food, and get down here.
Food down here before the game is. You could catch the last inning, David.
At least.
Yeah, at least.
Wind starting to blow a little bit in through our window here.
Yeah,
you took care of the air.
Yeah, that's right. Took the frigid air unit out. That thing's a monster, isn't it?
Grant Berry, the batter, 2 on and 2 out. Goes after the first one, chops it to first. It's fielded by Lusignan, and he'll step on the bag. So a disappointing end to the inning for the Cougars, but they do get 2 runs across. And after 5, CSU back within 1, 7-6, Lander in front here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
Everything good? Still get a quick foul pole in.
When I was diagnosed with prostate cancer,
When you're the DA,
I faced a game-changing decision. Well, I chose surgery. That might not be the right call for all patients. For some men, a less aggressive approach called active surveillance might be the best choice.
I don't know. 12,
Ask your
11.
doctor about a genomic
The good
test
luck has to
may
run
help
out at
you
some
make
point,
the right
right?
decision. Learn more at
I hope it doesn't,
yourprostate.yourdecision.com. A public service message from Men's Health Network,
Yeah.
Prostate Health Education
That breaking
Network,
ball's
and
tight.
Zero, the end of prostate cancer.
And we got 6.
This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network. News Radio 540 WDAJ.
Stephen Williams and Scott Miller back here with you at Burger King Stadium. 7-6, Cougars trailing Lander. And we watched an interesting thing in between innings there. Chris Daniel, who just had a strikeout and was obviously upset about it, he just took himself for a little jog.
Just down to the foul pole and had a little discussion with himself. And when you're the DH, you can do that.
He just got back, by the way.
He was arguing with himself down there.
Matt White, the batter, to start off the Lander 6th. The leadoff hitter takes a first pitch strike. He's had a busy night. 2 for 3, a couple of runs scored. He's doubled and tripled. Both of them down that right field line going the opposite way. 0-1 pitch. That's a perfect spot. Robert Hayes back out to work again for CSU. Put that one in a good spot. Now it's time to put a hitter away, though. Been a lot of 2-strike hits.
That has really hurt us tonight. Boy, great damage control by Will Jones.
Danced out of trouble there. 0-2, line drive, and there's another one. Breaking ball up in the zone. White goes the other way, and the leadoff man is a homer shy of the cycle.
You know, you got an 0-2 count on the leadoff guy. Throw it in the dugout if you have to keep it. Throw it in the dirt somewhere to keep him from getting on again, and there you go.
Need a 0 to be put up on the board here. Landers scored in the last 3 innings. 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 2 more in the fifth. 7-6, they lead it. CSU has had an answer. 2 runs in the second, third, and fifth innings. Zach Daly, the batter, White on, and now Hunter Bowling is going to call time as Robert Hayes can't get on the same page.
You know, we mentioned as fans, this is a fun team for you to watch because they score a lot, great offense, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of rollage and Tums being taken over in that Cougar dugout with the coaching staff this year.
White on at first, being held on. Daly awaits the pitch from Hayes. That's a fastball tailed back in there for a strike. We got back from Lincoln Memorial on Sunday, and I got back here just in time to catch the 9th inning of that 9-0 victory. Talked to Greg Appleton afterwards, just asking how things were going. And he was saying, well, you know, the way we go right now, there's 2 outs in the 9th inning of a 9-0 game, and I'm worried about us finding out number 27.
Yes.
Never
and he
know.
wasn't joking either.
I asked him how everything went for the weekend. He said, oh, things were great. They could have been speaking Chinese, and I'd have been happy. We got 3 wins. The 0-1 rolled on the ground. Grant Berry makes the stop, but it bounces away from him on a dive. White's going to move all the way to third, and it's back-to-back base hits for the top of the Lander order. Berry on the dive knocked it down, but it scooted away from him just far enough, and White never stopped running. I'm not even sure he knew that ball stayed in the infield.
Yeah, I think he might have been going anyway. I mean, he can fly, can he?
So Lander threatening to attack Moore back on. 7-6 the score, but Robert Hayes is going to need to do some work. Nobody out, runners on the corners, and it's Colby Lusignan, the number 3 hitter up. Lusignan hitting .374 now after a 1-for-3 start to the night. This one on the ground, Taylor made for a double play to second. 4-6-3 is the double play. The run will come in the score, but you really couldn't ask for much more there.
Yeah, you give up a run to get a couple of outs in this situation, certainly.
And that was kind of a hanging, breaking ball in the middle of the plate. He hit it right on the nose, but the ball right at Grant Berry. And the double play clears the bases off. 8-6 now. Lander grabs a run on the play. No RBI for Lusignan. And they'll restart with 2 outs and Thomas Berry at the plate. First pitch from Robert. That's in there for a strike. Berry 0-for-3. White and Daly at the top of that Lander order. They're combined 6-for-8 right now. 3 runs scored and an RBI. That's getting the job done. Pitch inside, taken by the left-hander. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, we were talking about begging people to bring us the food, and 2 years ago, Kenny Funderburg was on our bad list forever after he tweeted back at us. He was listening, and he said, I got you, we'll bring you some food.
And he even said, as the pitch is in there for a strike, it wasn't that he said, I'll get you some food. He said, what do you want on your hamburgers?
That's it. And so we were ready, and the next thing we know, he doesn't come. Next thing we know, we see him walking up toward the Lumpkin Center, away from the ballpark.
1-2 offering from Hayes, just off the outside corner. That's not the way to make friends.
No. I guess he figured his season was over. What were we going to say? Well, we said a lot, actually.
I was going to say, we said a lot. We had the platform to say a lot.
That's it.
2-2 pitch coming. Hayes working out of the windup with the bases clear. Popped up into the air, high into the night sky and left, and didn't think Nettles had a good read on it at first. He finally finds it in the night sky and puts the grab on it out in left to get out of the inning. So damage control done by Robert Hayes. He gives up just 1 run, and after 5.5, Landers' lead is 8-6 here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
In blind tasting, consumers are asked to choose which color taste they prefer.
Back and forth we go here at Burger King Stadium. Stephen Williams, Scott Miller here as the Cougars trail 8-6. You look up at that board, though, and there are a lot of numbers that are not zeros.
A lot of twos up there.
8-6. Lander in front. Cougars will send their 7, 8, 9 to the plate.
Ryan Eiley.
But it is not your average 7, 8, 9 that's walking up there. Ryan Eiley will lead things off. Eiley already with a 2-run home run. His average creeping up near the 400 mark. Takes the first one for a ball. Fully under the night sky and the lights here at Burger King Stadium. That one down low, 2-0.
It is just a gorgeous setting, and it is really nice to be sitting in this palatial broadcast suite and have this view in front of us here.
2-0 pitch to Eiley is lined into right field. That ball sinking fast, but coming on to make the play is Conaway. That ball looked like it was going to nosedive right down in front of him, but hung up just long enough.
And wind blowing out just a little bit toward right, maybe that helped it stay up enough.
Hunter Bowling, the batter. He'll try to start things with the bases empty and 1 out. Hunter on the night is 0 for 2. Shows bunt, lays it down. It's going to take a tough play here to the throw. It is late. And how about a base hit bunt out of your catcher?
Wheels Bowling. I'm telling you, it's the high socks that he's rocking tonight that gave him that one extra step that he needed there.
Did you just hand off Dustin Averett's nickname?
Yep, I
One
did.
catcher to the next?
I did.
Okay, I'm okay, just checking. Don't want him to be forgotten.
No, of course not. We would never do that. We just sort of like handing the baton off, though, you know?
Wheels Averett. Enjoyed watching that one. Hunter Bowling, a.k.a. Wheels, on at first. Tyler Fichter, the batter, 1 away. First pitch to the Cougar center fielder is high for ball 1. I think Hunter would be okay with that.
I think that he would enjoy that. I mean, the guy has stolen every base he's attempted to steal this year.
That ball fouled off. I don't even know what it is, but I'm hoping he's 1 for 1.
Bing, 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 bing. You are the winner, my friend. 1 for 1.
He has not been thrown out all year. He is a terror on the base paths.
You know, Jones is going to pay close attention to him here, I guarantee. Or at least he should. See,
Well,
there he goes.
He picks over to first. The throw, not in time. Hunter even grabbed an extra step right before he picked off.
Yeah.
Bullpen up and stirring on both sides right now. A 1-1 from Jones, lined right back through the middle. On the ground, it gets all the way through and into center field. That ball nearly took the feet out of Jones, and then White, the shortstop, dove over the top of it. First and second, 1 out, and CSU right back in business.
That was a bullet back up the middle.
One thing you had to hope there was it just didn't catch the foot of Jones and knock it down. White got a kind of a rather late read on that from shortstop as well.
And he actually got there. As you said, he dove over it.
So it's a 2-run deficit here in the 6th inning for the Cougars, but they have the potential tying runs on first and second, and the top of the batting order coming up. Blake Edwards there. Chance to get CSU closer. They battled back to within a run in the 5th, but Lander added 1 in the 6th to stretch it out. Blake 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch his last time up as he takes a big cut there and a hanging breaking ball, but fouled it back. Blake showing a little bit of pop this season to go along with his over 400 average. 3 long balls. So both leadoff hitters in this game. Not big guys, but show they can swing the bat a little bit. 0-1 pitch, chopped softly towards third. It's going to be picked up. The only play is to first. The throw was low, and Lusignan saves a huge potential error there.
Well, that was a big and nice pick by Lusignan.
Troutman really spiked that ball into the ground, and if Lusignan can't field that, Lander is in a world of hurt.
Jackson Oliver.
Jackson Oliver will try to come through in the clutch. Lander has a couple of big two-out base hits with runners coming across to score, and now Jackson Oliver is hoping he can reciprocate for the Cougars. Mangum will call time, though, and he'll go speak with his right-hander, Jones, who is now at 95 pitches. He has, despite giving up 6 runs and 9 hits, kept his pitch count rather economical.
He has. I tell you, those early innings really hurt Coochie tonight with the pitch count.
And just as you say that, though, the night might be done for him. Kermit Smith, Bearcat head coach, out of the dugout again. He has a guy up and looking like he's going to come into the ball game. We'll wait and see. Has not made the sign yet. Speaking with his entire infield. Cougars trying to get things going once more. They've scored 2 runs in 3 innings of the 5 tonight. They'd love to score 2 more here and tie this one up. The sign and the call to the bullpen has been made, and so it will be a new pitcher coming into the game for the Bearcats, and we'll tell you who it is after this here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
The Cougars.
The night done for Lander starting pitcher Will Jones. He leaves with a lead. We'll see if he can keep it. Bearcats go to the bullpen and get a left-hander.
Andrew Reardon, a senior out of Sumter, South Carolina, left-hander, 3.18 ERA coming into tonight, 1-0. In 9 appearances, he's come out of the bullpen in all of them except for 1. 11 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 16 strikeouts, but 14 walks.
The line for Mr. Jones, 5 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 of which are earned. But he is on the hook still if these other 2 runs could come across and score. The situation for Reardon here that he will inherit is runners at second and third and 2 outs in a 2-run game. It's 8-6, Lander in front. CSU with the tying runs, though, in scoring position. Hunter Bowling on third, Tyler Fichter on at second. Jackson Oliver will be the batter when we get back to play. So Kermit Smith playing a little bit of the matchups here. Bringing the left-handed pitcher to face 2 tough left-handed hitters should he get to see both of them in Oliver and Nettles.
He had a lefty and a righty up in the pen. The right-hander has shut it down for right now.
Just in watching warm-ups, Reardon does throw the ball hard from the left side, but as the stats do indicate, he is a little erratic.
One thing we need to keep in mind, Stephen, as this game goes along, we're just in the 6th inning, but Lander has a very good closer waiting for the 9th.
With a microscopic ERA. Jackson Oliver will be the batter. Jackson 1 for 2 with a couple of runs scored. He singled into right field his last time up. love to find a little green now. Victor runs well at second. You'd think on a base hit, especially with where the outfielders are playing right now, that he'd be able to score from second and tie this game up. Lefty on lefty, 2 away. First pitch coming from Reardon, working out of the stretch. He goes breaking ball, and he leaves it up high above the letters for ball 1.
It's a soft breaking ball up high.
First base is open, but Matt Nettles waiting in the on-deck circle. Runners at second and third take their leads. The 1-0 pitch, hit in the air to center field, but the ballpark plenty big enough to hold it. And Reardon needs just 2 pitches to get out of the jam. Oliver flies out to center. Cougars strand 2 in scoring position, and we've played 6. 8-6, Lander on top of the 7th-ranked Cougars here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Stephen Williams, Scott Miller here at Burger King Stadium. 25th ranked Lander up 8-6 on the Cougars here in this first game of the weekend series. Robert Hayes going to continue to work as assistant coach Sammy Stiers went out and did a little window dressing to home plate.
I was going to say the ground crew came out and took care of home plate.
And you could have used a little bit of that turfus there in the stands.
I know, just a heads up if you're coming to the ballpark this year and you get this sort of combination of the heavy pollen in the stands and not enough rain to wash it away, but just enough to make it slick. Careful, I have some good soles on the shoes.
Just don't come in here running.
No.
Just walk nice and easy and hold the handrail.
Yeah, just wait till you just do what I did. Wait till you get down on the concrete out of the stadium to put it into a little jog.
You found another gear down there.
Yeah, that's right. Another gear. Jog down there, jog. But I was going to have to walk anyway. I would have been out of breath by the time I got back up here.
8-6 the score. Lander coming to bat in the top of the 7th inning. Cougars hoping they can put a scoreless inning together for the first time since the second. The second inning, the only goose egg on the board so far for the Cougar pitching staff. John Mangum, Bearcat backstop, will walk to the plate to face Robert Hayes, who continues his work. First one hit right through the 5-6 hole. Blake Edwards didn't even move a muscle as that ball went screaming past him.
Leadoff hit by Mangum brings up number
Didn't waste any time, and on his 2 hits tonight, he's jumped on the first pitch both times.
That is 13 hits on the night. 12 of those 13 hits are from 5 players. 5 multi-hit games on the night. Kellner does not own a hit, but he has walked twice and scored both times, so he's done his job at the plate even without getting a hit. He's 0 for 1.
You know, normally you get to this part of a ball game and you think about moving the runner over. Let's see, though, is the way both these teams swing the bat and score runs.
Would you?
I would not.
I don't think I would either.
Not against this team.
Runner on. Over at first is Mangum. Kellner to the plate, left-hander. Open stance. Starts to go after the first one. And the appeal, the umpire standing out there to the right side of second base, throws the fist in the air. He was excited.
Woke him up.
Gave it a big yeah.
Just 2 umpires in the regular season. They're not happy in the dugout at Lander about that, are they?
I don't know, but he was asking about the call, and our home plate umpire pointed. He goes, "I pointed," and he put the fist up. That's a strike. There's not a lot of confusion
and
here.
It's 0-1.
Right. I mean, if you'd like to argue, you can argue with him out there on the call, but it is 0-1. Infield at double play depth. Edwards in on the grass at third. This time he will show bunt, and he lays it down. Blake will field. May have had a play, and he chosen to go to second. Instead, he goes to first. The sacrifice works, and CSU chooses not to gamble. Probably the smart play, and there's one down.
Yeah, you're right. They might have had a chance at him because Mangum didn't get a good jump at all on that. But, as you say, take the sure out.
And you got to remember, though, too, that was a catcher lumbering between first and second. So.
And it wasn't Wheels bowling either.
No,
so.
we never throw out Wheels.
Never. No
one
one's
away.
Done it, yeah.
One away, and the runner is on at second. Still a 2-run game, though. Big for Robert Hayes here to try to pitch around trouble again. Alex Conaway, the hitter, goes after the first one, hits a long fly ball into left field. Nettles backing up, heels on the warning track, and he'll reach up and make the grab. May have been just off the end of the bat.
That's what kept that in the ballpark, just off the end of the bat.
That was a ball in the middle of the zone. Conaway nearly got it out of here. He'll have to settle with a 2-for-4 day so far. And now Mason Dodd, the batter. Again, though, early at-bat swinging. Dodd, the second baseman, digs in on the left side. 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs. He goes after the first one, and he shoots it into left field. They're going to wave the runner around third and challenge Nettles' throw. Nettles' throw is on the money, and he might be out by 7 steps.
He was at the bag when Matt made the throw. That was not a good go sign from the third base coach.
And Hunter Bowling stood there and waited and waited and waited before he tagged him out. So we were just talking about a catcher running and the catcher thrown out at the plate. So Nettles keeps this an 8-6 game. It's time to stretch at the ballpark. 8-6, Lander in front here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Matt Nettles broke out the rifle out there in left field and gunned down the catcher by really one of the widest margins you're really ever going to see on a play at the plate.
Not only did the Cougar catcher Hunter Bowling have the time to eat a sandwich, he had time to make the sandwich and then eat it before the runner got there. My goodness.
Here's the real question. Can he make us one?
Well, that's right. I shouldn't have gone with the food analogy with 2 guys who didn't have dinner before the ball game. Another left-hander and right-hander in the Bearcat bullpen.
And there's some movement down on the left side as well for the Cougars. Part of the order coming up for Columbus State, who needs 2 runs. It's 8-6 Lander, bottom of the 7th inning. Nettles, McClellan, and Daniel, the 3 set to bat. That's the 3, 4, and 5 in the Cougar order. Matt Nettles will start it off. He's 2 for 3 with 2 RBI singles as the left-hander Reardon fires a fastball in there for a strike. We'll see how long Reardon gets to go with the right-hander McClellan in the on-deck circle. Sets and delivers the 0-1, scooped up out of the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The right-hander in their bullpen, I think he was I can't see the number and couldn't earlier. I think he's the same guy who was up earlier, so he would be ready. He is now on the front of the mound.
Nettles with his slightly open stance starts to offer at that off-speed pitch. The appeal down to first, and again, he says he didn't go. But again, if that guy down there can tell that the left-hander went around on a swing, I think we all know.
Yeah,
there's nothing you can do because there's no third base umpire.
With the 2 umpires, it's just a bad system.
The 2-1 popped up. That one's over our heads. We don't really ever have a chance to need our gloves in the new setup with the net and the roof the way they are.
It would be a 1 and a whole big old number shot to make it over that screen, not hit the roof, and come back in here at that angle.
It's a shame we can't let you get the big net out and try to catch it.
I know, get that old Ernie Johnson net out.
The 2-2 popped out of play again. That ball over the roof, over towards the Morrow clubhouse.
The Ernie Johnson senior net that he used to wave at old Fulton County Stadium.
I was watching a clip that someone sent to me earlier because, Ernie's hosting the studio coverage of the NCAA tournament, and he gets the pleasure of working with Sir Charles. And Charles is talking, and he's going through something, and he says, yeah, they were really doing well top to beginning. And he just kept rolling through it. And Ernie goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. Top to beginning as this one's fisted out in the air to left field. It's in no man's land. The left fielder coming on towards the line, able to make the grab. Had to go a long way to get it, but Kellner got underneath it right at the line and made the grab for out number 1. But it just was great timing from Ernie. He goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. We're not going to ignore this. You just said top to beginning.
Digging in.
Barkley's a whiz on that touch screen, too. What a terrible, terrible bracket show on Sunday night. First of all, 2 hours long. Are you kidding me? And then it was leaked, of course,
in the
about
day
halfway
of social
through.
media. Mike McClellan, the batter, with the bases empty and 1 out. First pitch from the left-hander is in there for a strike. Christian Miller has stepped out into the on-deck circle. Part of that DH platoon that we've seen, and he is the right-handed half of it. Chris Daniel is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, so he probably is just fine being over there. Fastball, that one's on the inside corner. Mangum didn't catch it, but it didn't matter. Called strike anyway, 0-2. Mike 1 for 3, an RBI double his last time up. It was at that time that it looked like CSU was getting ready to tie the ball game up, if not take the lead. That ball's in the dirt, 1-2, but Will Jones worked out of trouble. He got Daniel to strike out. Barry grounded out. Kept it a 7-6 game at that time. Landers since added 1 more, and they hold on to an 8-6 lead right now. Bottom of the 7th inning here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field.
That was the pivot point of this game to this point. No question.
Something tells me, though, there's a few more pivot points coming.
Yeah.
McClellan, the big right-hander, waits. Reardon working out of the stretch. The 1-2, swing and a miss, just threw the fastball right by him. And there's 2 away, so it didn't matter. Lefty on righty there.
Now batting, number 12, Chris Daniel.
So we will get a pinch hitter here in the number 5 spot in the order. It's going to be Christian Miller, the senior out of Eastman, Georgia.
Christian Miller.
Been some good products out of Eastman, Georgia, coming to the school, haven't
Isn't that the truth?
they? Eastman's been good to Columbus State University.
Two great basketball players.
First pitch to Miller is hit a long way down the right field line, but that's over the Lander bullpen and out of play.
I don't know what's in the water in Eastman, Georgia, but it's some kind of athletic booster, that's for sure.
Christian for the season, a .356 hitter, 5 long balls and 21 hits. So he's got a chance with one swing to cut the lead in half. Fouled that one off of Mangum, who takes another beating. And
Yes,
did we just lose a light?
something happened. It just got darker. I thought, being my age, I thought I was dying, so I'm glad that you noticed it also. Was it a light underneath the roof, perhaps?
They're all staring at this light pole right here to our right behind the first base dugout.
The one that we can't see. We can't see
Naturally.
we can't see the lights up there. And by the way, the rain is picking up, unfortunately, as I look up now to the heavens.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Good inning there for the left-hander Reardon, who goes 1-2-3 through the Cougar heart of the order. A fly out, 2 strikeouts, and it sends us to the 8th. 8-6, Lander in front. Cougars looking to rally. 2 innings to play here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
And we have a new pitcher as we're back at the ballpark now for the Cougars, Chaz Wilson.
6'2", 200-pound right-hander, a junior from Cartersville, Georgia. 4.76 ERA on the season. He has no record to show for 7 relief appearances, 11 1/3 innings pitched, 7 runs, 6 earned on 9 hits, 7 walks, 11 strikeouts, and more importantly, he transferred from my alma mater.
Is that right?
A Union University product.
How about that? Do you take him under your wing here when he arrived?
I haven't had a chance to talk to him about it yet, but I did talk to his dad. His dad goes to all the games. So they're from up there in Cartersville. He goes to all the games, and he always has his digital camera with him. And
Oh,
he
I've
always
seen his
tweets
tweets.
a lot.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
him.
Absolutely. I've seen those tweets. Yeah. Okay, good to know. All right.
I saw him walk in with his backpack earlier. He's here tonight.
Ryan Troutman, sacrifice fly RBI to his credit tonight, back in the 4th inning. We're in the 8th, and it's 8-6. Lander, there's a strike. You know, we were talking about that situation in the last inning for Lander in the 7th, whether you'd sacrifice or not, and we both said we wouldn't against a hot-hitting team like Columbus State. They ended up doing, and you understand why they did, because they've got a great closer down there ready for the 9th inning and just trying to shorten the game to get to him there. Pitches in there for a strike.
By the way, I spoke to Mr. Wilson on Sunday after the Georgia College sweep, and he was telling me that Grandpa Wilson not happy with us because we hadn't had a chance to broadcast any of the games because of the schedule. So hopefully he's watching tonight, wherever he is at.
The 0-2 misses, 1-2.
Getting a chance to watch his grandson throw.
Yeah, I hope so. Hope he's watching and listening. iHeartRadio and Cougar TV. Simulcast, we'll do that here for the home games. So we're happy about that. The 1-2 pitch just a little outside. He did that little flinch number again, didn't he?
And it makes you wonder, Hunter dropped that ball. Had he held on to it, would he have rung him up? Because it was close.
The wind has picked up to right field, and the rain is getting a little heavier here.
It doesn't look like big drops, though. They're kind
Right.
of floating down rather than falling.
The 2-2 is low and away, 3-2.
And, you know, I walked out of the press box to see what happened because they definitely got darker behind home plate.
Yeah.
But that light bank is still on. So I don't know what it was. Maybe it went off periodically for a second. I don't know what it was, but it definitely flashed.
Yeah, you didn't think it would come back on that quickly either. There's a fly ball down the left field line. Trouble if it's fair, but it's not. It is foul. A couple of feet.
You know, I don't know if it's just me and us not having been up here very much this season. It feels like this outfield is huge.
Yeah.
And it might be because there's no back behind it, so it changes the vantage point.
I think it changes. I think that's exactly it. It changes the depth perception for us
It looks
up here.
humongous right now.
You can't, for instance, now as you look out at center field and what's behind it, you almost don't even see the fence out
No,
there.
it's true. There's a lot of things happening out there, a lot of black poles
Yes.
between the netting. That's almost driving range style out there over right field.
The 3-2 called strike three on the inside corner. Troutman had tossed the bat away and was heading to first, but the plate umpire rung him up.
Important to get that out in front of this guy coming to the plate right now. I need the bases clear here.
Matt White.
Matt White, a single, a double, a triple. There was a random strikeout in between the double and the single. So, you know what he's looking at here.
He can't be perfect.
The pitch to the Bearcats shortstop is inside for ball one.
So here's the thing, and you know, I played, but cycling was not in my repertoire.
Mhm.
Does he go to the plate here, you think, thinking about it, knowing that it's there?
I don't know how you can't. The pitch is in there for a strike. It's 1-1, and he has 6 home runs on the year. So,
I mean, here you are, though. It's a huge, pivotal ball game in the top of the Peach Belt Conference standings. It's only a 2-run game. It's late.
swing and a miss. Took a big hack at that.
It does make you wonder, is he going to swing from the shoe tops a little bit?
You know, the way this guy could run, he could put one in a gap or have one bounce around down in the right field corner.
How about the left center field gap right now?
Look at
Tyler
that.
Fichter's playing right center field.
Wouldn't that be a way to top off a cycle?
And according to our vantage point, it would roll forever.
Yes, right. There's no fits out there as far as we can tell. The pitch is in the dirt, and it's 2-2. Well, let's just put a end to the cycle nonsense right here, Chaz. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch is on the way to the plate. That is a called strike 3 at the knees, and White was not happy about that at all as he pounded his leg as he heads back to the dugout. Another big strikeout for Chaz Wilson.
He may have to watch himself. Our home plate umpire took his mask off as he was walking away. He doesn't take it off very often, but he ripped it off there as White was, you could see the mouth moving as he was walking away.
Here is Zach Daly. 3 singles tonight, an RBI in the first inning on a ground out, swing and a miss.
And here's the thing, if you're in this CSU bullpen, every spot is up for grabs right now. So every time you go out there, it's an audition to earn and lock down a spot. So if you're Chaz Wilson, you're trying to lock down and nail down one of those late innings.
It is wide open, that's for sure. In on his hands, fouled it back to the screen, and he's jumped out in front of him, 0-2. And you said the plate umpire almost took off his mask. I think of one of our great assistant coaches that Coach Ragsdale had many years ago, Chris Dubia. He'd say, put that mask back on, you're scaring the women and children. He was great. The 0-2 pitch. There's a bouncing ball to the second baseman, Barry Fields. Throws to first, and he got him. Attaboy, Chaz Wilson. 1-2-3. Go the Bearcats here in the 8th inning. Time to go to work. Cougars down 8-6. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Here we head to the bottom of the 8th, Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field, and the Cougars trailing the Bearcats 8-6 in game 1 of the weekend 3-game Peach Belt set. And time to make it happen with the big closer Brandon White looming for the 9th inning for the Bearcats.
And the Cougars 54 runs this season in 25 games in the 8th inning or later. So this has been their time of game.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter.
Leading off the bottom of the 8th inning, pinch hitter number 14, Justin Evans.
Justin Evans will come to the plate for Grant Berry.
Kermit Smith having some kind of discussion with the home plate umpire, but he seems okay now.
Justin in just 38 at bats, a .211 hitter.
It's that guy right here, though, that you can tell the future is bright for. He's also the closer if it gets down to that option. He's a guy that has a cannon for an arm. He throws in the 90s from the shortstop position. But the bat is what they are hoping still comes around.
Freshman out of Allatoona High School, Kennesaw, Georgia. And the first pitch from Reardon. First pitch swinging, chops it to third. Third baseman cuts it in front of the shortstop, throws the first, not in time. Beat it out. And a good start to the 8th.
And again, it's the little things sometimes that can turn into big ones. We had the infield single earlier where Grant Berry hustled down the line and beat it out. It turned into a 2-run home run right after. And now Justin Evans comes off the bench, gets the infield single, and he's on with a little bit of hustle.
He just pounded it right into the dirt. It was headed out towards short, and Troutman cut it off. He bobbled it just a bit and enough to be safe at first. The reliever in the bullpen is ready. I wonder, let's see if we can get a number. It's going to be the right-hander coming in. They have not made, now they make the move to the bullpen. And we'll go ahead and get the pitching change break back in 60. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
You're busy. Consider
And the Bearcats with a new pitcher.
It is right-hander Harper Greer, a 6'1 junior, 229 pounds, out of Spartanburg, South Carolina, a transfer from USC Sumter, and a sidewinder coming from the right side. Out there on the
17,
mound for Lander. He comes into this one 4-0. So he has been the beneficiary of some late game runs. All of his appearances are out of the bullpen. 2.35 ERA, 30 2/3 innings pitched, 8 earned runs, 31 hits, 13 strikeouts, 8 walks. So that tells you he's going to be in the zone and guys are going to put him in play.
The wind has shifted a little bit here and blowing some rain in to the underneath the roof, and so some umbrellas go up underneath the roof here, and rain's getting a little heavier.
That's part of this. One of the things that is different and really separates this place from, say, USC Aiken, who has a similar setup, is the roof is so much higher here. There's a lot, and it helps because it doesn't trap the noise underneath it, and it really allows for a lot more breeze and flow of air. But it does set you up to have some rain blow in if the wind starts going.
All right, here is Ryan Eiley, a 2-run home run back in the second inning. He hit it over the left field fence. If he could have a Groundhog Day version of that, we'd be all tied here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Justin Evans with an infield single to start the inning. The pitch misses outside, 1-0. Greer, he kind of leans over before he pitches, and then the sidewinder goes into that crouch, and the pitch is in there for a strike.
I believe there was a sidearm pitcher that CSU faced against in Auburn Montgomery in that 3-1 loss they had down there a couple weeks ago, and it was a side-arming right-hander that really fooled them and stifled the offense late.
Well, perhaps if that was the case, maybe that'll help here tonight. We've seen somebody, the pitch misses outside, and it's 2-1. 8-6, Lander on top. Bottom of the 8th. Man on and nobody out. It's over at first. The pitch swung on and fouled it back to the screen. And the count goes to 2-2. Evans gets his lead over at first. Eiley digs back in there. And the 2-2 pitch. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. White fields. He bobbles, looks at second, throws to first. Everybody's safe. He had no shot to get him once he bobbled and then looked to second.
And again, hit the ball in the right spot and hustle, and you can see what a little bit of foot speed can do for you. And speaking of foot speed,
Wheels Bowling, Hunter Bowling, who beat out a bunt single his last time up. Down by 2, bottom of the 8th, first and second, nobody out.
And I think this is a bunt situation from a guy that really actually does a good job of it.
So Hunter, he wants to try to make the third baseman field this. He squares, he bunts it back to the mound though, but he's going to go to first and get the out there. The second baseman, Dodd, had a little trouble finding the bag over there, but he did all right. Good job, Hunter Bowling. Sacrifice bunt, runners move up.
Dodd was late getting to the bag. That was the problem.
So now a base hit could possibly tie the game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tyler Fichter, the center fielder, doubled back in the 3rd. He also singled in the 6th. 2 for 3 on the night. Cougars try to get off the deck, and here comes the Lander head coach, Kermit Smith. Can you tell what number that reliever is down there?
Josh Fuller has the binoculars.
Yeah, I left mine at home along with my dinner. I cannot either. He has not made the move to the pen as of yet. Now he has. And we'll take another pitching change break. They're going to try to make sure they get the correct reliever in. All right, pitching change break. We'll be back. Flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. All right, back at the ballpark, and the Cougars trying to rally in the 8th inning, and they'll have to do it against the tough closer coming in.
Brandon White, a 6'2", 215-pound junior right-hander. And listen to these numbers. He's been in 15 games. He's 1-1 with a 1.08 ERA, 16 2/3 innings, 2 earned runs, 23 strikeouts, 7 walks, opponents hitting just .211 against him.
So a 5-out save Mr. White will try to get here tonight. I knew they had 2 guys down there. We couldn't see the numbers. The first guy started to come out of the pen, and you could see Coach Smith going, no, pointing to the other side of the bullpen. And he wanted his closer to come in and try to put out the fire here in the 8th inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 1 down, and the Bearcats clinging to a 2-run lead.
He does have several saves of more than just 3 outs. He went an inning and a third for a save against North Greenville, an inning and 2/3 against Flagler, an inning and a third against Flagler, an inning and 2/3 for a win against Mount Olive, an inning and a third for a save last weekend against Augusta. So this is not out of the ordinary.
He was a freshman on that World Series Lander team. And now here he is as a junior and a top closer. So here's Tyler Fichter, the man of the hour at the moment for the Cougars. Put the ball in play somewhere, Tyler. White checks the runner at 3rd, and the pitch is a strike on the outside corner.
It would not completely catch me off guard if he dropped a bunt down here. It doesn't even have to be to 3rd. If he pulled one to the right side, he'd beat it out for an easy hit.
A drag bunt, he could walk to 1st. Swing and a miss. He jumped at a pitch that was low and away, actually got a piece of it and found it back into Mangan's glove. So he's in a tough spot now, 0-2.
Yeah, that's not an option now.
And, of course, White looking for a strikeout here, 2nd and 3rd, and 1 down. White comes to the plate, and there's a ground ball to the shortstop that's going to get a run in. Throw low, and he threw it away! And 2 runs are going to score, and the game is tied. Put it in play, and good things can happen.
You know when that happened? 0-2. Just like Lander has been doing all night long. It finally went the other way.
Number 11, Blake Edwards.
So 1 run was going to score. Tyler will get that RBI, and then when the shortstop White threw it in the dirt and threw it by the first baseman, Ryan Eiley came around the score and tied this game up at 8-8. And Tyler is out at 2nd, and now a base hit could give us the lead. Here's Blake Edwards back to the top of the order, and the breaking ball is inside for ball one.
It's a tough way for it to happen, but I would venture to say it's probably the first save that White has blown this season when you've only given up 2 runs.
I would think so. Runner gets his lead, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Fast man. It represents now a potential go-ahead run. Blake looking for his first hit of the night. Swing and a miss, and he flailed at that one badly low and away.
Yeah, Blake struggled with the breaking ball tonight. But again, a good 2-strike hitter.
He struck out twice tonight. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the 5th inning. White checks the runner out at second, and the 1-2 pitch. There's a shot down the third baseline, just foul, and Patrick Collins is hopping mad down there, but the plate umpire calls it foul. The Cougars came roaring out of the dugout, thought they had taken the lead.
Umpire very sure of his call, though.
Made it right away, very demonstrative. I mean, that's all you can ask for. Count stays 1-2. Boy, Blake just barely missed, putting the Cougars on top. Ripped one just foul. 1-2 pitch, fought it off and stayed alive, fouled it back to the screen. As a light rain continues to fall here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field.
Here we are again, though. Yep. Another late inning comeback.
This Cougar team has been amazing this year at that. The 1-2 pitch, pulled foul and out of play down the third base line.
The real question becomes who's going to get the 3 outs in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, that does. And then I was just sitting here thinking about that. That has been the problem for the Cougars this year. We don't have that stud closer, and it's been just a trying to find somebody. We got a left-hander up in the bullpen right now. The 1-2 pitch almost hit him inside, and believe me, you don't want to be hit by this guy.
Now, you talked about throwing freshmen into positions that you really don't want to have to throw them in. That left-hander down there in the bullpen is Colton Ingram, freshman out of Hampton, Georgia.
The 2-2 pitch, fouled away to stay alive again, right over our heads. You had that one, didn't you?
All the way. Never in doubt.
You had that first quick step, had the glove up, ready to go.
There's still one quick step left. It's the multiple steps
after that
becomes
right?
a problem.
So a couple of singles and a big error here in this inning. The game is tied. Runner at second and 1 down. And the 2-2 pitch. There's a chopper down the third baseline. Just foul again. And it's a good thing for the Bearcats because the third baseman Troutman couldn't corral it. Got past him, but just missed the bag.
You know, you can feel the energy in this game now. You've watched both teams. It's been a rather energy-charged game all night long. A lot of guys pouring out of the dugouts on big hits and a lot of celebrations on big knocks. But you can really feel it starting to kind of edge up a little bit more right now.
Grab a lucky spot for Blake Edwards and see if he can't put the Cougars on top here in the bottom of the 8th. The pitch, he fought another one off, in on his hands and fouled it away. Great at bat by Blake.
What an at bat against a very, very tough pitcher. I mean, he throws that fastball right there on your knees, buzzes you off the plate, and then you got to try to stand in there and hang on that breaking ball that he throws. That is not easy.
23 strikeouts and 16 in the 2/3 inning coming into this game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blake digs back in there again. Tyler Fichter gets the lead out at second. He's a fast guy, and now he takes too much time, and Blake asked for and it's granted time. Now he's back in there. White peeks over his shoulder at the runner, and the 2-2 pitch popped him up down the first base side, staring into that rain and foul territory. First baseman is under it, and he's got it, and the runner holds at second.
I think Fichter probably could have made it to third, but again, you never make the final out at third base. He can just as easily score on a hit here from second. So the right move. What an at bat from Blake, though. That was the 11th pitch of that at bat, by the way.
Number 21, Jackson
He really battled
Oliver.
him, and now it'll take a 2-out hit from Jackson Oliver to maybe get that go-ahead run in. He'll try to keep the inning going in some fashion here. Jackson with a single and a walk and a couple of runs scored tonight. He's a left-hander.
All-American 2 years ago. A good season last year as well.
Open stance. The pitch swung on, fouled back to the screen.
Jackson along with Blake Edwards, both those two guys, 4-year starters and climbing the record books.
They have
What
had
careers they've had.
great careers out here. It has been fun to watch their progression year after year. The Oregon is trying to whip the crowd into a frenzy here on what's turned into not a real good night at all weather-wise. The pitch misses outside, 1-1.
We were discussing before the game whether we thought we were going to get 5 innings in.
Yeah.
We're in the 8th. I'd say we've done all right. We haven't delayed things at all.
And fortunately, with the roof this year, the fans have been able to stay out of the rain for the most part until the wind whipped it around in time. 1-1 right off the end of the bat. Fouled. 1-2. Well, and Jackson find a little, just dribble it through a hole somewhere and see if we can't get the go-ahead run in.
Look where the shortstop White's playing.
Way
He's actually on the grass.
on the grass.
For a guy that if he hit it that way would be the opposite way.
Yep. Trying to cheat over toward the bag to hold Fichter closer in the pitch. He goes down the left field line, but is slicing down toward the batting cage and out of play.
The entire Lander infield is actually playing all the way back. The third baseman standing about 3 steps off the back of the infield. The first baseman's even closer. Dodd at second base. Is that on the grass?
So if you could just put it in play, just nub it somewhere, you got a chance to beat it out to keep the inning going at the very least. Fichter gets his lead from second. 2 down, tie game now, bottom of the 8th. 1-2 pitch will not be made as White looks him back to second.
The good news is, with them being so deep, Fichter can take as big a lead as he would like out there. Makes it even more likely on a hit he'd score.
And he's got a big lead, and there he goes. And the pitch is high and away, and he's going to walk into third base without a throw.
He basically got a walking start. He just never stopped moving.
So now you could get him home in a number of ways to take the lead.
One of those nasty sliders in the dirt.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in a tie game, bottom of the 8th. The pitch, a looper down the left field line, but it's going to slice foul. So Jackson a good at bat, staying alive. And now the infield still playing back very deep, and so you nub one in the infield somewhere. Not only do you beat it out, but you take a lead. Second baseman and the shortstop still on the grass. First baseman a step off the grass. Third baseman has come in a step. Now he backs up closer to the outfield grass.
And remember, Jackson runs well.
Yep. Cougars have scored 2 in the 8th to tie the game. And White and Mangum cannot get together on the sign, taking a long time. Now he has one he likes. And the 2-2 pitch. Fouled it away again over toward the tennis courts. Keeps taking a shot the opposite way.
How good have the last 2 at-bats been, though? Even Fichter's. Remember, that came with 2 strikes.
They've made him throw a lot of pitches here. So they tried to get the 5-out save out of him. Runner leads from third, 2-2 pitch, trying to check his swing. They check with the field umpire. He says he went around for the strikeout and the end of the inning. So the Cougars strand the runner at third, but not before they pick up 2 to tie the game here in the 8th. We go to the 9th in an 8-8 ball game. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Back at the ballpark, we head to the 9th inning in a tie game and a new pitcher for the Cougars.
It is the freshman Colton Ingram, the left-hander, 5'9", 145 pounds, out of Luella High School. And what a spot to come in. Tie game, top of the 9th, heart of the order coming up. And for Colton, it'll be his 11th appearance of the season. That is a team high. He is 2-0 on the year with a save, a 6.10 ERA, 7 runs in 10 1/3 innings, 8 strikeouts. And we had a defensive change for CSU. Justin Evans stayed in the game. He is the shortstop now. Ryan Eiley has slid over in Grant Berry's spot. He is at second base.
All right. There'll be a test later. I hope you were paying attention.
For the Bearcats.
What a spot, though, to be put in as a freshman.
Yeah.
Top 2 teams in the Peach Belt. Game 1 of a pivotal 3-game series. 8-8 ball game, top 9, and the 3-4-5 in the order coming up.
Well, we were talking about this very situation earlier in this ball game, and Coach Appleton going to the young guy, and the pitch, breaking ball, misses to Kobe Lusignan, who is 1 for 4 on the night, an RBI single back in the 3rd. The 1-0 pitch, fly ball in the gap in left center, and that ball is going to fly out of here. Up against the Cunningham Center, and it got out of here in a hurry. And the Bearcats have regained the lead.
That ball was crushed. Again, though, the ball is jumping out
It really
of
is.
here. That would have been one of the longer home runs we saw at this ballpark last year. And that just is another run-of-the-mill home run this season.
You spoke to the energy of both teams in this game tonight, and the Bearcats came storming out of their dugout, all at the plate to meet the first baseman Lusignan, who puts them back on top by a run. And the pitch is downstairs, ball 1 to Berry. So now White will get to work a clean inning in the bottom of the 9th.
And now your job, if you're Colton Ingram, you got to keep this at 1. It's already hard enough to score off of White. You got to keep it there.
The breaking ball is in there for a called strike.
Colton had worked 7 appearances. His last 7 appearances, he'd only given up 1 run. It was early appearances that ballooned that ERA.
Pitch misses outside, and it's 2-1. That ball was just, it was like a rocket out of here.
I think it hit the patio. I don't think it landed on it, but I think it hit the facade.
2-1 pitch is in there for a called strike, 2-2.
Now we'll see what the mental makeup is like of the freshman. Give up the home run to take the lead. What do you have now?
Serious damage control time. The 2-2 pitch misses, 3-2. He graduated cum laude from Luella High School. That is cum laude. That's not an area that I'm familiar with. in my educational process. The payoff pitch missed with the breaking ball, ball 4.
And the Cougar is now running down to the bullpen. Jared Little, another freshman.
Boy, how much do we miss big Trey Watson, huh?
Now we're going to get a pinch runner over at first. Looks like it'll be Sage Kornatzer.
Your attention, please. Now bench running number 26, Sage Kornatzer.
Sophomore from Hendersonville, North Carolina.
Now batting number 9.
So getting some speed on it first to try to, here comes Coach Greg Appleton out of the dugout to, they're going to bring out, this is a great, not that the infield doesn't, the mound doesn't need it, but they're going to bring out and work on the mound because of the rain that's falling, but this also allows our bullpen to get some more time in.
Yeah, especially because Jared just got down there.
So they're tossing out some diamond fry on the mound as that steady rain that's been falling. And you're right, you mentioned earlier, it hasn't been a rain with like big drops or small drops, but it's just, and it's getting more intense now as we go along.
Yeah, now it's starting to fall rather than float down.
We're in the 9th inning, top of the 9th, and the Bearcats have just retaken the lead 9-8 on a leadoff home run by Lou Sigmund. As we continue to work on the mound.
Well, if there's one thing we've learned, it's that this bunch is never done until the final punch. And we said we thought there'd be a few more pivot points before this one was done, and we've had 2 more since then. A big throwing error that tied things up in the 8th, and obviously the solo home run that led this inning off.
And even though you're facing a guy like White, one of the top closers in the country, he is working into his 2nd inning, and so we got a run off of him on the ground ball. Then the error allowed a 2nd run that comes home to score, but as we said, he'll get a chance to work a clean inning in the bottom of this inning. John Mangum, a couple of hits on the night. Let's see how the Bearcats play this. He is squaring, shows bunt, it's in the dirt, gets away from Bowling, and the runner moves up.
Now you can almost guarantee that Mangum will be bunting.
Trying to get the runner over the 3rd with just 1 out. So things not going well for the Cougars here in the top of the 9th. But as you said, even against a top-notch closer, this team has been in these situations all year, and they've come through a lot. Can't give them too much more. Oh, my goodness, there's a pitch that hit him. Goes all the way back to the screen, came inside, and it hit him, and that's actually a break for the Cougars. The runner would have ended up at 3rd. So the troubles get a little more for Colton Ingram here.
Now another bunt situation with Kellner coming up. You expect that he'll put this one down.
Number 13, Caleb Kellner.
Kellner, a couple of walks. He already has 1 sacrifice bunt. That was his last time up. He hits from the left side.
One thing that could help you here is a left-handed pitcher. He can get squared up to 3rd if he needs to.
Edwards is in on the grass at 3rd. And now Ryan Eiley asked for time, and he's going to come in and talk to the freshman.
He was trying to ask for time there for about 10 seconds, and the field umpire wouldn't turn around and look at him.
He was just kind of creeping in, right, and hoping that his pitcher didn't throw the ball. All right, so Kellner Ingram checks the runner at second. He squares and takes a strike on the outside corner.
That was nasty. Hard breaking ball. I think Kellner thought it was going to be a ball, and he bailed out on it, and the ball broke over the plate. Rain is harder now, hardest it's been all night. They got one guy down there that he's holding his seat.
The rain be darned, right? Squaring again, and the ball hit the plate and bounced away, and the runners move up. Goodness. Hit the plate and bounced straight up in the air.
And fielded by Mike McClellan, the first baseman, because he was creeping in from first to guard the bunt.
So the hole gets deeper here. Count is even 1-1 on Kellner now, and runners at second and third. Of course, the infield is in all the way around, and the 1-1 pitch swinging away now and fouls it back to the screen, and it's 1-2. A leadoff home run to put the Bearcats back on top by 1, and then a walk, a hit batter, a couple of wild pitches in the mix. And the 1-2 breaking ball missed outside. Tried to get him with that nasty pitch that he got a strike on him earlier.
25 games into the season, Columbus State has not lost back-to-back games this year. That would be what tonight would be if this score held.
Lost the midweek game at Lee. 2-2 pitch on the way. Got a piece of it to foul it back to the screen and stay alive. It's coming down pretty good now.
Yep. We held it off for as long as we could.
Matt Golden, our studio producer, before the game even began, he texted us a photo of the radar that was solid green, but we held off for a little over 3 hours before we got this kind of rain. The 2-2 popped him up into shallow left field. Nettles is under it. The runner will slip, try to get back to third, and he cannot. It's a double play. And the third base coach for the Bearcats is beside himself right now. He thought the runner got back, but the field umpire said no. He slipped on that wet grass. Here comes the head coach, Kermit Smith.
That's a lot of restraint out of those two umpires to have him still be in this ball game, because that was quite a show he just put on.
And right now he's yelling at the plate umpire while Coach Smith, the head coach, talks with the field umpire. Very short conversation. So how about that for a double play?
Blake finally got a chance to die.
Yes.
Number 24, Alex.
He's like a slip and slide out there right now, isn't it? So 2 down and a runner at second. Here comes Coach Appleton out of the dugout. There was no way he makes the move to the bullpen. We'll talk some more about that as we come back from the pitching change break as the rain intensifies here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. New pitcher for the Cougars.
It'll be Jared Little, the freshman Columbus product. He's out of the Brookstone School. Tall, lanky right-hander comes in, and he will work his 8th appearance of the season. He is 1-1 with a save, 11 innings pitched, 11 runs allowed. That is an even 9 ERA, 9 strikeouts, 6 walks.
5th pitcher of the night for the Cougars. Well, you knew that on that previous play that there was no way the Lander runner was going to try to score from third on that shallow play. All he was going to try to do was bluff a throw, but he didn't factor in that the grass is slick from the rain tonight, and his feet went right out from under him.
And that's the difference about playing here. The baselines aren't cut out from home to first and from home to third. It is grass other than the circle at home plate and right at the third base bag, so that is different. To be honest, I think he was going to make it had he gone, because that ball drifted a little bit on Matt out there in left field, and he didn't get underneath it and kind of work his way through it. I think he might have actually been able to come and get it, but at that point you can't really anticipate that. He didn't make a strong throw either.
So now a chance to get out of this thing with just the one run, the leadoff home run, and make your task a bit easier against the top closer for the Bearcats. But still got some work to do for Jared Little here. Pitches away and in the dirt. Good stop by Bowling.
He's been busy in this inning.
Both catchers have been busy tonight. Conaway with a couple of hits. 2 singles tonight. The 1-0 pitch, that is also low.
Conaway had just 4 hits and 27 at-bats coming in tonight.
It's 2 for 4 tonight. He's ahead in the count now, 2-0. Little checks the runner out at second. The 2-0 pitch is in there for a called strike.
Jared kind of throws from that sidearm motion as well. He's not as far down as Greer was earlier for Lander, but he's still coming. It's definitely not a 3/4 slot. It's down there more on the side as well.
Check of the runner again, and the 2-1 pitch. Right off the handle, back to the mound. Jared has it. He will underhand it to first to Mike McClellan for the out. So the Cougars do some damage control, but the damage in the first batter was done with a home run, and that puts the Bearcats on top 9-8. And we got to go get them Cougars as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Time to find a lucky spot somewhere and see if the Cougars can't get off the deck against one of the top closers in the country, Brandon White. It's a 1-run deficit for the Cougars right now. And we've got 3, 4, and 5 due up. Matt Nettles, Mike McClellan, and Christian Miller. We have made some comebacks this year. This one could top the cake against this guy if we're able to do it. The pitch is outside and high, 1-0.
We've got 3 guys
stumbling under it and makes the catch. 3 circles and a dive for Matt White, but he made it.
That ball played a lot up there in the air. All you had to do was watch the amount of steps because White was under it. He was standing right there underneath it and had to dance around.
And so that's 1 down, and here's big Mike McClellan. He doubled in the 5th inning. He's a guy that with 1 swing of the bat could turn this game around. See if he could catch up with one of those fastballs. And he tried to, and he pulled it foul into our dugout.
And caught up to it, and then some.
Way out in front. They're standing up on the hill out there under that patio just in case they get a little action. So the 0-1 breaking ball dropped in there on the corner. That was nasty.
Yeah, that was a knee buckler right there.
0-2. McClellan asked for time. Mike steps back in there. Cougars down to their final 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. And the catcher Mangum pumps his fist. Big ball game, big series, big game to start this series. Top 2 teams in the Peach Belt. And it'll all come down to Christian Miller.
Well, CSU's had a flair for the dramatics. There would be nothing more dramatic. And if they were to rally now with 2.
Christian, his first at bat, struck out his only at bat, chops it toward the hole, and it's off the glove of the shortstop and into left field for a base hit. He pounded it down into the dirt, and it kicked into left field off the glove of White for a base hit.
As soon as you saw that White wasn't going to get the big hop, you knew that that was going to be trouble because not only was he going to have to try to pick that short hop, but then he was going to have to make a long throw across the infield.
So Christian Miller keeps the Cougars' hopes alive.
And we're going to get double sub here, a pinch hitter and a pinch runner.
It's going to be Lake Hart will be the pinch hitter.
Juan Montana will be the runner. And Lake Hart, we talked about this before the game started tonight. This is a guy that does nothing but drive runs in. He is 3rd on the team in RBIs, and he has about 40% the at-bats that everybody else does. In 44 at-bats, he's hitting .409 with 25 driven in.
That's an astounding number. So he's got a man at first, Juan Montana, the pinch runner. And Christian Miller kept this ball game alive. And now let's see what Lake Hart can do against Brandon White. Down by 1, bottom of the 9th, 2 out, runner at first. Off-speed pitch misses outside for ball 1. Well, Lake, say hello to the new scoreboard and let's go home happy. He tried to, swing and a miss, jumped right out of his shoes and missed it.
And it was a good call on the breaking ball there. He was sitting dead red fastball, and he was aimed for the softball field.
1-1. Montana gets his lead at first, and the 1-1 pitch. Strike on the outside corner, and Hart didn't think so.
And he came at him with the breaking ball again, so pitching backwards at the moment.
So the Cougars are down to their final strike, a potential winning run at the plate. And the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. And the Bearcats come charging out of their dugout, and they have taken game 1 of the series. And Lake Hart is not happy. The Cougars aren't happy with something that took place on the field. And the umpires are telling them to get back into the dugout. I thought Hart was arguing with the plate umpire about the pitch before, but he was not.
No, and he struck out from the left side. He started walking across the plate, and the catcher, Mangum, came out and bumped shoulders with him, and then they started talking to each other. So it's going to be a fun Saturday and Sunday.
So there was a lot of energy in the park between these two teams, and that buzz will carry over to tomorrow and Sunday. We'll come back and wrap this one up. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540 WDAK. Cougar Baseball is sponsored by Pepsi, Burger King, the Wingate Hotel in Bradley Park, CB&T, and
It was one of those, I'm not going to let you have your space. You're not going to let me have my space. Two guys just crossed paths, and neither one of them wanted to give ground. They bumped. And Matt Nettles was nuts. That's who was going after. That's who they were yanking back, Nettles. But Nettles was nuts at Young Harris, apparently. We went to Young Harris, and teams got into it over something, and Greg said he pulled Nettles aside after he said something and said, hey, I need you to calm down. We don't have other outfielders to put out there. And so he said, we're in the first base dugout, and better believe it, the next half inning, Matt runs along the dugout.
CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540 WDAK.
Well, the Lander Bearcats have taken the first game of the series 9-8 with a home run in the ninth inning, and Stephen has the totals for us.
9 runs, 15 hits, 2 errors that were costly for Lander, but they lived to tell about it. CSU goes for 8 runs on 12 hits, 1 error. Both teams leave 7 men on base. The victory belongs to Brandon White. He blew the save after a costly throwing error, brought 2 runs home for the Cougars in the 8th and tied the game. But he worked an inning and 2/3, no runs charged to him. He struck out 3 of the 7 batters he faced, gave up 1 hit. The loss belongs to Colton Ingram. Ingram gave up the solo home run in the top of the 9th inning to Lesignan, and that was the difference in the ball game. White is 2-1 on the season. Ingram also 2-1. Game time, 3 hours, 25 minutes, and we'll strap it up and do it again here tomorrow at 6.
As we expected, it was a high-scoring affair.
And it's Friday night. Friday night's usually when you get the lower-scoring games, so buckle your seatbelts up. It's going to be a wild and bumpy ride, especially with the fireworks that ended that one over the next 2 days, because believe me, baseball players don't forget.
They do not, do they?
Whether it was justified, warranted, or all of the above, they do not forget. They have long memories, and it will be remembered tomorrow.
All right, so if you're in Columbus listening to us, we hope to see you out here tomorrow night. Should be fun. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, and we'll be on the air at 5:50 with the pregame show tomorrow. Our thanks to Matt Golden back in the studio as he did his fine job of producing again, and we'll be back out here tomorrow. We'll hope for better things. Once again, the final score from Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field, Lander 9, Columbus State 8. And for Stephen Williams and Matt Golden, this is Scott Miller saying so long, everyone.